Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. It's Brighton, the hoodoo side, the voodoo side, whatever you call it. We are playing them today. 11 times in the Premier League, we've faced them. 11 times we haven't won, but we've got a confidence that we do the 12. And that anyway, if you're new and here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. I'm not on my own, thankfully. I'm joined by a man who clearly never sleeps because he didn't. He was up to got with Gonzo to about 11:30 last night. I think there he is. Irish Tommy, how are we doing, son?
Doing well, Russ. Right? Doing good. Well rested. Yeah, I've had a lie in, had my fry, had my shower, so I'm all good.
Yeah, you're match fit. You're match fit for today. Yeah. It's a strange day, isn't it? Because it's one of those games where we always sort of we talk about that blind optimism being a West Ham fan, and this game epitomises it. I mean, we haven't won it there. We haven't won home or away in the Premier League against Brighton for 11 times. So why are we assuming it's going to be any different? But I'm confident today. I don't know about you, but I'm confident today.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know why. I've got absolutely no right to be confident away from home to Brighton, but like I say, we haven't beaten them in 11 attempts in the Premier League. So I don't know why. I think I'm a little bit giddy. I think because we played so well against Forest and at Old Trafford midweek. So I'm a little bit giddy. I might come crashing down to earth, in the next couple of hours, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm a bit I'm a bit optimistic today. Yeah, I think we can. I want us to win. I mean, we've had draws against them. We've had 5 or 6 draws. So we have drawn plenty of games with them. It's not like they beat us every time, but we just haven't gotten that win against them yet. And so really today, I mean, I'd absolutely love to break that hoodoo and finally take 3 points off them.
God, yeah. Especially with you look at the fixtures and the way the fixtures are sort of, in terms of Bournemouth away to Arsenal, and there's a lot of sides which are playing tougher teams or playing each other. So I think anything on the board for us today would be worth doubling the hand, really, because I think it's a real chance for getting something and pulling away a little bit. And obviously we go to obviously Larnaca on Thursday, and then we obviously got the game on the Sunday, and then Larnaca again, and then that's it until the 2nd of April. So really, you've only got two league games, including today, until Southampton, April the 2nd. So yeah, we need to get something. Otherwise, that international break won't be fun. It'd be nice to have a little rest for us for a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Let's have a look and see what we got in the chat. We got Kenneth very early, very good. Early starts day. Come on, you Irons Toby 3-0. Have it. Come on. Mandy thinks is 4-1 West Ham if you fancy it. Yeah, I'm a bit late. Yeah, Irish Tommy is here. I'm sticking 25 quid on us. Nice breaking the curse today. Skevy, who is in the chat, I saw quite a lot yesterday from he's an AEK Larnaca fan, I believe. So welcome. Garino's here. Come on, boys, play like you did in the last 2 games. I'm sure will be a West Ham win. Yeah. I think we can. We come into, that game against Man United was a strange game when we came away, optimistic. We were frustrated but optimistic. It's a weird 3-1 loss, wasn't it? Really strange 3-1 loss.
Yeah, I think the optimism. I'm the same. I despite the scoreline, I was actually pretty pleased with the way we acquitted ourselves, because I think the formation was correct. I think our intent was correct. We did get after them. We did go to attack. We did create openings, chances to score, something we haven't been doing all season. Losing the game was really down to individual errors, which you just can't account for. Had Antonio been a bit sharper in front of goal, had Aguirre not had his worst game for us, a couple of really poor errors, it would have been a very different game. So I think the optimism comes from the way we set up and the way we got after Man United and really had a go at them. And I think we should be optimistic for that, because you're not always going to have a kind of a nightmare game at both ends. So you're not going to get those errors that we got on Wednesday night, every game. So I think the optimism comes from our formation and the way we got after them. And I think we all feel like if we can do that again today, if we can go to Brighton, go to the Amex with that same intent, and and get after Brighton, that we're absolutely capable of turning them over.
Yeah, and I think we could have some early team news. I think it's I think Sufel hasn't recovered in time to play today, so it looks like Johnson's going to come into right back, and I think we'll be pretty much set up almost identically. No, they're not identically. I think Bowen comes in for Fornals, and I think Antonio Ings comes in for Antonio. So that pretty much is going to be your start. It's not been confirmed yet, but I think that's pretty much going to be what we're going to see. So
it's kind of as expected, really. I think if you'd have asked anybody, what will the 11 be, that's what they would have told you, really.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be confirmed in about 3 minutes. But that's the early team news we've been given. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously Brighton, Brighton are no slouch at all. Eighth in the league. We had Luke, the Brighton fan, on this morning, and he's, Brighton on course to have their best season ever. The slight fly in the ointment for them is obviously the manager's not going to be in the touchline, and by all accounts, unlike say a West Ham like Moisey or someone like that, who tends to be sort of quiet, or Potter, who sort of sits down and doesn't really get animated. Very much a lot of the energy for the side comes from Roberto on the touchline, urging people on. He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there today, so he's banned. Yeah. So that may play something in our favour. I'm clutching straws a little bit. I appreciate it, but we'll take any slight advantage, won't we, at the moment?
Yeah, we'll take anything we can get. We need some crumbs of comfort, really, don't we? Because especially against Brighton.
I love it. That's going to be like the quote for today. We need some crumbs for comfort. Irish Tommy 2023. No, it's very true, man. It's very true. Manny makes a good point. Are we asking too much for Oggy playing 3 games so quickly? Obviously, it'll be 3 games in essence 7/8 days. It's a lot for someone who's arguably coming to the end of his career a little bit, isn't he? Really, it's a lot to ask, I think. But it needs must as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'll be tough for Oggy. But hopefully his experience will get him through. And I suppose as a centre back, he's not doing so much running either. He's not, he's not going to be up and down the pitch. It's not like being a midfielder or forward where you're kind of on the move all the time. I think if we can have our share of possession, I think Oggy will be fine, because he will spend a lot of time basically just hanging about. When we've got the ball, he won't have to move too much or do much running. So, only when they're on the attack, he'll have to kind of come to life, as it were. So, I'm sure I think centre backs can get away with the extra games a bit more.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think you're totally right. I think it's one of those things where I think he's, and he said, he's more of the elder statesman. That's predict, because he just sits there, as you said, he sort of, again, does most of the running, to be honest, doesn't he, to be fair, and bringing it forward and stuff like that. But no, I think 3 games, and we'll have a rest on Thursday. That's for sure. I'm sure maybe Zuma might be back for that. Obviously, Cornet played some minutes yesterday. In the under 21s, he lost, was it 5-1 to Man City at the end? So not a great game for us, but nice to see Cornet getting some minutes, and hopefully maybe start bleeding into the side for Thursday. Maybe, I don't know. I do.
Yeah, we'll certainly see Cornet on Thursday. Whether we'll see him from the start or he'll come on. I'm actually going to be interested to see the bench today, see if Zuma makes the bench. I mean, he's got to start making appearances in the squad, surely, at this point.
Yeah, should do for sure. We'll be getting the team any second now, the full side. And on the bench, we have got Anang, Heggie, Downs, Cresswell, Fornals, Zuma, Lanzini, and Schumacher's on the bench. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, 8, not 9, because that makes sense to have a 9th player on there, one of the kids, whatever. So yeah, that's the 11 is confirmed in terms of what we said. And I'm sure Anton's going to sort out the things in the background for us, so we can go through that in a bit more detail. I'll tell you what, though, if obviously yesterday, I know he's probably watching. I had the pleasure of meeting Kieran. Look, I met Kieran. I'll see Kieran. He's over here. He's been over here for a few weeks, and you would have seen him on the channel. We've had him. He's one of the old school hammers, along with Budgie. Obviously, Budgie's in the UK. Kieran's in the US, in Australia, and he was in Alnchurch. He was in my neck of the woods. So I popped down and said, I thought it was only going to be like him and his son, but it was like they took over the gaff. It was full of guys, right? It was full of blokes who looked a bit like old old ICF. They all looked like they could handle themselves. It was all bald-headed blokes called one was
Yeah.
called Razor, and stuff like that. It was really funny,
Yeah.
but nice
It's
to
in
see
the
Kerry.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
their bodies get old, but it's in the eyes. You can see the spark is still there in the eyes. Yeah,
It's still there. It's still there. God bless them. We're just going to get the Brighton side. We'll get that sorted as well. That's been announced. Just wait for that to turn up as well. I mean, yes. You alluded to the fact Zuma's on. Actually, interesting. No Antonio on the bench today.
yeah,
So,
that's
mate, do you think
strange.
he might have been the ninth man? He might be the ninth man because that happened last time with Cresswell, wasn't it? When he got injured,
Yeah,
and was then sort of not given. Then we ended up with no one on there at all. But yeah, it's a strange one. Yeah, strange one. Let's have a look at how Brighton are lined up. Brighton are lined up with Steele, Laperty, Webster, Dunk, Marsh, Grohl, McAllister, Mitomo, Casado is just on a new contract. Evan Ferguson, Estu Supian, yeah, the left back. So
yeah, it's
Sanchez
looking
is
them.
on the bench for them. So still being in goal, not Sanchez. Our friend Danny Welbeck's on the bench.
Yes, I was just looking for him.
The first thing I did was like, no, off you. He's on the bench. Fuck. That's what I was saying. There's always with Brighton. There's always like we used to be Glenn Murray, then it was Neil Mopai, and now it's in Danny Welbeck. Yeah, no, it's I think they've gone as strong as they can as well. Laperty starts him, who's obviously a very good player. I'd love to see at West Ham bench. He's a really fast, direct fullback.
Yeah,
Cornet's not on the bench. Gareth, he played. I don't know.
played
Played a fair bit
45
of the game
minutes.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he played
played
the
one
first
half,
half, wasn't
one
it?
full
So
half. Yeah, so
yeah, so
we'll
that's
probably
a start.
expect to. Yeah, we'll see him on Thursday. I'm sure we'll see Corney out against Lernica on Thursday. He'll get a run out in that
Most
game.
definitely.
I know we've got someone in the chat there who's an AEK Lernica fan. So if you're
Yes.
still here listening, what's the pitch like? Is it a proper grass pitch, or do you guys play on the AstroTurf stuff, or what
Great
do you
shout.
play on?
Yeah,
I
great
want
shout.
to know.
We'll find
Yeah,
out. Good idea actually, because that'll make a massive difference, doesn't it? Because do you
yeah,
remember was it Viborg had the
yeah.
it was one of the
Viborg.
early they had the AstroTurf pitch, didn't we? And it was
Yeah.
and there was a lot
No,
of
it's I say AstroTurf. It's not like the AstroTurf that
no.
we would all play on in five-a-side. It's much more advanced type of
Yes.
surface than that. It doesn't have the little black balls like coming up.
Oh, those little black things used to get everywhere, didn't they? All
They
like
get
you,
in your
like you
boots and they're really annoying. And yeah, but
I used to hate that.
it's a lot more advanced than that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But still, it means a change of boot as well. And for people who have got like dodgy knees or whatever, it's a consideration with the manager in terms of who he picks. Two goalkeepers, obviously worried that Areola could struggle. Could have had Marshall on the bench. Yeah, he wasn't involved in the under-21s. You're right. Gonna take a month for Cornet to get fully fit. Yeah, probably. You're probably right, my friends. Anyway, let's go. Let's put the full side on. Let's take the older thing on so we can see. Let's take. Sorry, Matt, I'm going to take your comment off as well. There we go. That's it. So yeah, so Areola back four, Johnson right back, Aged, Ogbonna. Unfortunately, Aged's got to play on the right hand side again, which does wind me up. But obviously, Zuma's on the bench, so that won't be for too long. Emerson left back. Actually, I think I've called it. I think for the first time on our predicted 11, I think me and Anton got it bang on. Fucking hell! Wow.
yeah, I think
That's hard. That's hard to do that at the moment, West Ham.
yeah.
Danny Ings returning back to the side. Great to see. Ben Rama hopefully can keep his his form going from the Man United game. I thought this was one of his best games for a long time for us. A couple of attacking subs there. You got Fornals, his energy, Skarmaka, Cresswell, obviously Zuma back in the fold. Weird sort of like the way that subs have been relayed. You've got Anang and Heggie, then you've got Downs at 12, then Cresswell, then 8, then 4, then 10. And so, very strange. Very strange. Makes no sense.
It's
But actually, it's worth checking that because actually last time the club released one. Was it the Man United game? And Lanzini wasn't on the bench, but then they re-released it because they forgot to put him on. So it may change. You might get another player come back on. We never know. We'll find out in a minute. As I said, in terms of Brighton, that's how Brighton are set out. Still, as I said, Laperty, you got Webster and Dunk, big centre backs. Lewis Dunk, I think he's a old school centre back. Solly Marsh, who's back back from being out. Pascal Groh, you got obviously the World Cup winner, McAllister. Mitomo, he's a fantastic player. I think he's a great player. Casado, as I said, just signed a new contract. The midfield, obviously, we were linked with him in the summer, as well as other clubs, and I think he'll probably be a transfer target for many. I think there's going to be a lot of midfielders up for sale amongst the likes of Maddison and obviously Declan Rice and potentially a few others, Bellingham and stuff. Evan Ferguson playing fantastic for Brighton at the moment, and they brought back a Stupian as well. And just have a look on the bench. Billy Gilmore, Veltman, yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, I think it's a bit weird as Matt says about Steele for Sanchez. It's a slightly strange one, but maybe Sanchez has got a knock. Because Sanchez is the main man there. He's the main man.
Yeah, and I think for us, in terms of our game today, I think the fact that there's no Antonio in the squad, I think it means we'll almost certainly see Scamacca at some point for Ings.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Or even bring in someone taking like if we're not doing well, taking someone like Tommy Soucek off and putting for Scamacca and then going 2 up front. Big man, little man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I was just watching
it'll depend on the scoreline, I guess.
Yeah. I was just watching Rob Banks's Rob's doing like all the Lyle years, and it was and today's episode was the 85-86 season, and I was like, oh, could you imagine if we were like brave enough to do a Scamacca Ings? I think that would not obviously there wouldn't be Machiavelli Cotti, but it would probably be a very potent strike force. Reminds me of the Kits and Hartson era. That sort of proper 2 up front, but we know it will never happen. This is a shame. If Zoom was fit enough to start on the bench, then he should be fit enough to start. Well, you can say that about Scamacca as well, Peter, like the other day, wasn't it? Apparently it's an artificial pitch at Larnaca.
No, he said if it's an artificial.
Oh, sorry, but I'm not reading it, but I don't know if it is actually. It's natural grass. There we go. It's natural.
Excellent.
Thank you. And Skevy, get in contact with us, westhamnetwork@gmail.com. We'd love to interview you before Thursday. Find out, from the horse's mouth, so to speak, about Larnaca, about the team, about, we can read so much on the stats and stuff, but from the man himself, let us know, man. More chance of snow in June than seeing 2 up front. Well, the way climate changes, you probably might not like to get.
He'll only do that if the situation's desperate.
Exactly. Although it is going to snow in the UK apparently next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. So there we go. But obviously it's not June. Does Antonio not making the game mean he was sulky even more next game? It was hard to watch him dropping his shoulders and moping last game. Well, unless he's got a knock. We don't know, do we? I'm sure there'll be something coming out post-match about whether he's, why he's not in the squad. But we'll see. Russ, you and Anton get the ante. We did. Thank you very much. Brighton fans say Sanchez drops over poor form. Really? Let me ask Luke. I'm gonna message Luke from who we interviewed this morning about and I'll ask him why has Sanchez been dropped, because he'll let us know why has Sanchez been dropped, and he'll let me know because he's a nice lad actually. Being dropped. And then we'll find out from the horse's mouth. What we got here? Being ill and hardly any sleep, a 3-pointer today will be a blinder. Cross Hammer, we'll try our best, mate. We'll try our best. And we'll get these 3 points for Holly, who gets married tomorrow. Holly and Dan are getting married tomorrow. So we wish them all the best and all the luck in the world.
Yeah, and get well soon, Cross Hammer.
Yeah, and get well soon, Cross Hammer. So, I'll have a word with Moyes. I'll text him in a minute and make sure he gets 3 points for you, Crosshammer, and for Holly as well. So that's all good, and obviously that'll be the perfect medicine, as Scott says.
You know what? I fancy some goals today. I really do. I think I've got I've got a feeling today's going to be a little humdinger. You know that. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be quite open. I think that both teams are going to look to score goals. And my prediction actually last night on my show was that we'd win 3-2,
Ooh,
which would
that'd
be
be
amazing.
nice. That'd be
Yeah,
cool, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. I think
yeah,
it's one of those things with Brighton, and we were saying it today with Luke from the Brighton fan. I'll say he really obviously he really enjoys West Ham games because they've got 30, they usually win. But I enjoy them as well because I think Brighton are a really good footballing side and they've always been quite good. They're not sort of, I know at the back they got Dunk who's a big lad, but they haven't got any sort of like lumps. And so the likes, I mean, Lallana's not in the side today, which is a bit of a loss for them. I think they were looking to get him back in, but they're a good football inside, and we're starting to play a little bit of good football as well now. So you're totally right. I think I expect a really, really, really good game. I think it's going to be really entertaining. If anything, the last few games has proven, even with 70 minutes to go, if it's 0-0, don't worry because because we scored 4 last week, and then
yeah.
we let in 3. That was 4 goals in the last 20 minutes again. But obviously 3 for Man United. So yeah, and it's I'm looking forward to seeing it. Russ, but Holly's still doing a show, right? She needs to show West Ham Network. I know. I don't think there's going to be a tweet all about it this weekend. I do apologise. She's a little bit preoccupied. But yeah,
Lack
and
of
then
commitment there.
it's lack of commitment, isn't it? Lack of commitment.
It's not. It's not. I mean, having her wedding on a weekend when West Ham are playing is shocking.
Not saying anything, Tommy. But Anton down there, who hasn't switched his mic on yet or anything. Last Sunday, Tottenham, his son gets christened, and you think, come on, unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Just priorities.
It is,
Priorities. Anton. I mean,
it is priorities ridiculous.
I know. I had to do this. I had to do this second half watch along because of him, and it was
just unbelievable.
thankfully some of us. Thankfully some of us are real fans.
Yeah, show real commitment. Yeah, I totally get that.
Can't be doing with these casuals.
These casuals. Yeah, and particularly Holly. I mean, unbelievable. But hopefully, and then she goes to then she has a bloody honeymoon, and then unbelievable.
Her honeymoon better be in Larnaca.
Honeymoon's in Stratford in April because I think that's where I'm going to be. That's where I'm going to be spending most of my April.
You're going to be, you're going to be really overworked in April, Russ.
Yep. It could be up to 7 games at home next week over April if we're still confirming the dates and everything for the under 18s as well as if we get through Larnaca, then we'll play in the quarterfinals in April as well. So it's going to be a busy old time, but we'll see.
You're going to be getting that overtime in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's going to be crazy. And then there's Easter as well, isn't it? Easter Sunday as well. Even with the loss I'm optimistic about today. Goods. Yep, totally agree. Priorities. Manny goes, right, okay, so everyone bet 0-0 now. Okay, yeah, we will do because me and Tommy said there'll be goals. I'll try and get in touch, but I'll try and get in touch, lads, but I'm a female football sport. So what?
Doesn't matter.
We have. I mean, it doesn't matter at all. We have women on here. That seems really stupid, but we do. Holly's one of our hosts, and as I said, she's off to getting married. So not showing any commitment there. But if you want to come on, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love.
Yeah, it's fine, Skevy. Look, we know nothing about Larnaca, so anything you can tell us will be helpful. Frankly,
definitely. And not just for us, but for the viewers, it's going to be a bunch of people going out there as well. So anything you can do, any tips as well, where's good to have a drink, all that type of stuff. It helps us all out. We have one community here, and hopefully, Skevy, you're part of our community. It's throughout like Europa League. We had several guys and girls who came on. I'm thinking like Mikey. Who's the Ghent fan, who then became a West Ham fan as well because of all the love and support he was getting when he came on the show. So, look, we'd love to get you on. Playing again as a right centre back is a mistake. Epic. I hate it, but I'd rather have him here there than Ogbonna. In all honesty, it does wind me up. That's always the case. Always check the football schedule before booking anything. Well, it's so true, Greeno. Obviously, the difficulty is now is it changes every month and it changes. So, if you'd booked, I think Scott in the chat, Scott H, he was booking to come to watch us play Arsenal, but because it's been rearranged, he's now coming and having to go to watch us play Fulham. If I'm right, Scott, Canadian Scott, you're in the chat, aren't you? And you've had to play a shitload for the tickets, I remember.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that joke about the guy at the FA Cup final with the empty seat beside him, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's true. It's so true. It's like, you have, I have to put all my stuff in the calendar, but I put it in pencil because I know then I sort of 2 months before, then I can sort of say, no, okay, this. And I mean, I've already got, I've always seen April and it's well out of date. We should have a Gavin on the left, Johnson on the right, and Kira as the fullback. Kira's not even in the squad today. So don't know what's going on with Kira at the moment. I imagine I reckon we'd see him on Thursday as well for sure. Getting some minutes, but it's weird he's not on the bench either.
Yeah, it's a worry because Kerr and Antonio would almost certainly start against Lernicast, so you don't want them missing.
Yes, there's something weird in there. There's something weird there at the moment. I think with Johnson, with obviously Cornet, everything that happened with him, and just getting back into the side now, and can't put my finger on it yet, mate. But I think there's something strange over there at the moment. But also is can't get the staff indeed. Probably why we haven't performed as well. Too many changes of position. Yeah, I mean although this is probably the same 11 that we played last, obviously the Man United game, apart from Danny Ings and Bowen. But then the back four has been relatively stable, kind of, with Sufa dropping out. It's not as much chop and change as we have had recently. And I think that might be why we're having this upturn of form as well, because there's a little bit of consistency with the side selection now, which is good for us, because it's good for the players, because they can, we knew at the Man United game that Aged and Areola, they weren't communicating very well. So it gives them a opportunity again to sort of build that, because that makes a massive difference. Aged's been having Fabianski behind his back from pretty much all of his West Ham career, bar like one European game and I think half in the Blackburn game in the Cup. So they have that sort of understanding, and then have another goalkeeper in who's going to be between the sticks probably into the end of the season, I'd say.
That's quite a nasty injury to Fabianski, and broken kind of cheekbone and eye socket. I know sometimes players will come back, to wear those masks, to protect the cheekbone.
Phantom of the Opera mask,
yeah, but it's really not necessary for us to do that. I mean, Areola is a very good goalkeeper, and we'll be fine going forward with him. So let Fabianski heal up properly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were saying yesterday when we were doing the recording for the show. We were saying that about Fabianski and would he wear a mask? And we said he doesn't need to at the moment, because it's not like there's usually what usually happens in football is you'll have a very good first goalkeeper, number one, and the reserve team goalkeeper is, no disrespect, Darren Randolph or someone like that. Someone who's good, who could do the old cup game, but where we've got, in essence, two first number ones. We've got two number ones. And so, the fact he's doing interchangeable, and, it's great for Areola to get a run out, and we don't have to rush Fabianski back, which is good. Which is good for him as well, and to make sure he can heal up properly. I think that injury to me guarantees that virtually guarantees we'll offer it. We'll take the option for the other next year for him. In the same way we did with Bonner, didn't we? We gave him this 1 year contract because he did his ACL, I think, last year, wasn't it?
Yes, ACL, yeah.
So I think we'll probably be renewing or taking that 1 year option for him into next year. But hopefully by then, Areola would have transitioned into the number one, because he's got the next half dozen games to show what he can do, really.
Yeah, the games are going to be kind of thick and fast for Areola now. After the international break, he's going to be a busy boy.
It is.
And I tell you what, it's our injuries have kind of cleared up right at the exact correct time for us. I mean, we're really going to need all of our squad over the coming weeks.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, I think, as I said, we've got Larnaca. I mean, I should do it on a bit of paper, like on the slide, because I think people will appreciate how many fucking games we've got coming up. Yeah. But we've got, I mean, it's not too bad this side of the international break. obviously Larnaca on Thursday, then Villa at home, isn't it, on the Sunday
Yes.
next week? So we've got Larnaca again on Thursday. Then we've got the international break, peeps, and then the second we've got Southampton at home. Then on the Wednesday, I think we've got Newcastle at home. Then we're playing again on the weekend, and then
And
it's
then we're
pretty.
probably Europa League again on the Thursday, then, isn't it?
It is, yeah. If
Or
we get
excuse me, Conference
through.
League.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we get through, it will be the Thursday. So Fulham on the Saturday. Yeah. So we play Southampton, Newcastle at home on the Wednesday. On the Saturday, play Fulham away, and then if we've got through the first of the quarterfinals, Arsenal at home on the following Sunday. Then we've got the second quarterfinals. Then we've got the Bournemouth game away, which originally is on the 22nd on the Saturday. That'll be rearranged to Sunday. Then we've got Liverpool at home on the 26th, and then we've got Crystal Palace on the 29th away. So that's 9 games in April. Plus also we'll have to, in May, we'll have to rearrange the Man City away game because that was meant to be for the week after next, but that's the quarterfinals. So yeah, fucking hell, Jesus. Yeah. So although April's really tough, May you're gonna have Man United, Man City. Yeah, so it's gonna be mental. It's gonna be mental.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Newcastle 2 down to City already. Doesn't surprise me. I think Newcastle have run out of steam, I think, now, mate. I think they've run out of steam. I think that their season, apart from obviously getting to the Carabao final, is very similar to our season when we were like riding high in the top 4 for ages, weren't we? For like 60 days, we were in the top 4. And then we ended up sort of just creeping into the Europa League. I think that's what will happen for them, to be honest, now. And then rebuild. Yeah, 2-0. 2-0 for Man City. Foden and Bernardo Silva. Should have selected 4 nails over Bowen. It was a mistake to take 4 nails off on Wednesday. I agree with that on Wednesday. Do you, Tommy?
Yeah. And to be honest, it's a mistake I would have made because hand on heart, at half time, I was thinking I didn't feel like Fornells was playing well. I'll be completely honest. I didn't think he was kind of doing much. And I was thinking at half time, I'm tweeting, get Antonio off and get Scamacca in there and get Bolton on instead of Fornells. I thought, because maybe then we can kind of convert some of these chances we're getting. And it seems maybe I would have made the same error, hand on heart, just to be completely honest. I mean, I would have had Bolton on at half time myself, and I would have had him on earlier. But yeah, it did say, no, I don't know. I mean, there's the whole, causation thing. Is that the reason? It's easy to correlation does not equal causation necessarily.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just as simple as Fornells went off. I suspect there was a bit more to it than that involved in our collapse. But yeah, it may have been an error. Yeah, in hindsight. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. And to be honest, I'm the same as you. I totally thought that actually that was quite a positive substitution. I thought he could have gone a little bit the other way, but he didn't. He went for that, and it was what it was, mate. What we got here? Skevy's. She's giving us some tips. If anyone's going to, this is why we want you on. This is why we want you on, so we can do this in a bit more structured rather than in the middle of a watch along. Apparently, it's a good place to drink, have a meal. Tips on how you get no chance. Second league, a crucial game today against Paralamini. There we go. Anyway, come on. We'd love to get you on. I'm just watching on Twitter someone who's on a slow train, West Ham fan, who's on a slow train to Brighton. They've run out of beer, so he's Uber Eats the delivery to meet him at a platform, and he's run out to get these beers and meet this Uber Eats driver. Absolutely brilliant in between the stadium.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Quality.
Oh, mate. Let's see if I need to try and find it. Let me need to find it. Oh dear. Right, okay. All right, I'm gonna have to put it up in a minute. I'm gonna put it up just because I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's so West Ham. I love it. That's what I love about West Ham fans. They're just absolutely mental. Right, okay. Let's share it. I won't put the volume on. I won't put the audio on, and I'll just give you a little bit of a because my thing will obviously fuck up afterwards. Right. Okay. So this dude, he's on the phone and he's talking to they're saying platform 5. So they're trying to find what platform they got the Uber Eats drivers on. and then let's go forward a little bit. And he's going to get off the train. He's waiting for him. He's obviously at a platform. Three bridges. Look, he's running down. And there's the Uber driver down there, and he's got the beers, and he's got the beers for the Uber Eats driver, and he's back on. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, love stuff like that, Tommy. Love stuff like that. So much fun. I love it. I love it.
Up here for thinking. Up here for thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like why the modern day fan. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway,
That's that's kind of what making the most of technology, really, isn't it?
it is. It really is. We can see 3 points to Man City saves us playing the game. Yeah, just give them the game, innit? Just give them the game. Give them a 3-0. What we got here? Anyone else in the house? Bowen came on because he covers the right back best. It was a defensive move. Well, it didn't really work, did it? Because Garnacho scored pretty much straight. I believe Ings' goal will keep us up. Could be Arnaud. We don't talk about Lingard anymore. But yeah, I mean, Ings back in is a huge. I think it's his shirt to lose now. Surely, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and look, it helps as well when the manager likes you.
Yeah.
He's definitely a Moyes player, isn't he? And Moyes keeps talking about him. That he can bring the goals to lift us up the table, and so I think Ings will be now until the end of the season our first choice striker.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I think it's just he brings a sort of. It's a strange thing because at the moment, because obviously Ings isn't the most. He's not Antonio in terms of what he does to the bulk and the size and whatnot. But obviously he pushes Souček up a bit more to act as sort of like a battering ram a bit more, and I think that's a role which really sort of suits Souček, I think, to be honest. And I think Ings just, both of those goals. I think I was reading a stat that we'd scored a really low percentage of our goals from inside the box.
Yeah.
A lot of our goals are outside the box, things like Declan Rice and Ben Rahm and people like that. And obviously, we scored 2 goals in the 6-yard box, both from Ings. And that's what we need, isn't it? That is what we need, just that fox in the box. How many times?
Yeah, I mean, far too often we've seen balls go in there and there's just nobody in there sniffing around, and they just don't have that instinct that Danny Ings has. He's got that striker's instinct and experience, and that Emerson ball that was flashed across the area. I mean, Danny Ings would have been on the end of that.
Yeah, you're totally right. And actually, in the first half, was it or second half? Fornals did it from the other side, didn't he? And flashed it across. So it's like, I think it was I think the West Ham fan base are pretty much, all on the same page when they thought if Ings wasn't cup tied, we'd have been in the quarterfinals. I'm pretty sure. Ings never stops running. Yeah, someone said he ran something ridiculous, like 10K or something like that for the Forest game. And it's like, I think a lot of his running goes unnoticed because it's off the ball, obviously. And so he's running into positions. And I think there's an adapting. I think West Ham, the players need to adapt to having someone like Ings, who's obviously very different from Antonio, who's very different from Skamaka. The three of them are very different forwards. And so it's a learning process for them. And I think, Ings makes some really cracking runs and we just don't pick him out enough yet.
I think 12-a-side football would be ideal for us. If we could just add in Skamaka to play alongside Ings and didn't have to kind of give up anything anywhere else, I think that would be ideal. I think there's a potential there for that to be a great partnership.
I remember once when I was at, that reminds me, we went to, I think it was junior school or something like that. It was the football team played the girls team at netball. So the netball team played the men's football, the kids football, the boys football, and they were all over us. They were fantastic. They were like Essex champions at netball. And by the end, we had 15 players on, and like considering a netball team is like 7, and it's the same principle. We were absolutely shocking, but then we kicked the shit out of them when it came to football. Scammy would have scored from that crosses, I think. Yeah, probably would have. I mean, but Skamaka tends to doesn't he? For me, I think he's more of a natural.
I think he's more of a 10.
10, exactly. I mean, that's what he does. Sassuolo, him and Raspadori were 9 and 10, and they would interchange. And actually, Raspadori was more like Danny Ings,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And I think that
I
could
was
be
yeah. I
fruitful.
was actually talking on my show about this last night.
Mm.
That I'd be very tempted in certain games, depending on the opposition. Say home to Forest, I'd have been very tempted to play the 4-2-3-1
Mm.
and play Skamaka in that
Yeah.
kind of Teddy Sheringham role, that number 10 role just behind Ings. And I think, he could like do some really good work there.
Yeah. Scott agrees. I agree as well. I think he's got it in his locker to do that. And I think, and that's why I quite like this sort of not new setup, but sort of a return to the old setup, but with Souček playing that higher up, because it wouldn't be much difference swapping in Souček for him in terms of positional stuff, because that's what Souček's sort of doing, really, but not the guile of a Skamaka. And obviously,
Yeah, and the only thing is that Souček is picking up the ball in some very advanced positions now, and all he's really doing it is looking for where's the nearest teammate and just popping it
exactly.
off. Whereas I
Yeah.
think if we could get Skamaka picking up the ball in those positions, I think he's the kind of player who can actually do some damage on the ball. He's a good passer, and he's got good skill, and he can do the hold up stuff.
Yeah.
He's very tall. He can win the
Yeah.
headers, the aerial challenges in there. He can take the ball to chest, he can take it to feet, back to goal. But he also has that kind of vision where he can pick out a pass and he can do a give and go. And if he gets into a position to take on a shot, he's dangerous. And I would just kind of love to see Skamaka in that Souček role, just to see, because I think he could potentially do a lot more damage than Souček does.
Definitely, offensively, definitely. And I mean, you wouldn't compromise with the height, because he's just as tall as Tommy Souček, so he's 6'5", and so he might be actually an inch taller, I think, as well. Do you know men's netball's a thing? Really? Fair play.
Nobody wants to watch it.
Don't really get it though. Don't really get it. It's like, nah, it's just too much standing around. Literally, you can't do nothing. These twins talk a lot of sense. we've got enough hair now. Anyway, Skamaka's had issues with his agent and thinks he has a lot on his mind right now. I don't think he's had issues with his agent. I think he's basically changed the whole thing with his agent thing. I think it's been blown out of proportion. He's changed agent, which players do all the time, but WSA, who were his previous agents, are just pissed off. He's changed agents, and then they've just put this a very unprofessional press release out. But yeah, he's going to sign for CAA Stella, who tend to be most players in their books tend to be sort of Premier League and Bundesliga. WSA was more Serie A, so might say where his heart is moving forward. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so that's just been blown out of proportion. I mean, I think WSA's biggest client was Skamaka. So there we go. Front three behind Ings would be Bowen, Cornet, and Scammy. I mean, I mean, for me, for Benny, Benny's got to know that that Cornet's starting to make his way back now, and so there's a fight for that left-hand spot in there now.
Yeah, and it's what we need. It's a pity we don't really have enough competition for Bowen on the other side. It's a shame. If we had like a Cornet for the right hand side as well, and so that Bowen realizes, okay, if my form is poor, I'm going to be out the team. Which is personally, like, I was very surprised earlier in the season when Bowen was playing so poorly, and he was very, very poor. Why he wasn't dropped and maybe just put Antonio back out there and play Skamaka up top, and I'd be quicker to put Antonio on the right wing than I would at number 9 now. I mean, he's not a finisher, but he still, brings a lot to the team when he does play.
Yep.
And so, I would have dropped Bowen early in the season for Antonio. And, he needs to understand that he's not the only show in town on the right wing.
No, I thought he was. I thought Bayern against Forest was really good against Forest. You could tell, because like everyone else was fucking scoring, that they were putting particularly that towards that sort of end of the game, last 10 minutes. Everything was trying to go down that right wing, to get Bowen a goal. It was, you saw that they just Deck, the amount of times he didn't really look right. And I think Bowen just, he played well. He did play well against Forest, but I agree. It's, and I think we've been crying out as a fan base for Antonio to be playing out on the right wing anyway as an option. You look at his heat map and he is playing like a right winger. He's not playing like a forward, like a central forward. But it's never going to happen. It's one of those things. It's like, ironically, that's where he started his career, wasn't it, on the right side, and obviously went to play. We played a right wing back and everything. Bless him.
Yeah, no such problems on the left. I really like the way that left-hand side is clicking now. You've got Emerson, you've got Paqueta and Benny, who I think have got a real understanding going there now. And some of the interplay between those three down that left-hand side is a huge bonus for us right now.
Yeah, and talking about Paqueta, I mean, he's someone he's taken. I think it's taken time to adjust to the Premier League, and I think that's even more so when you're playing the role that he's playing now. If he was playing more as a striker or as a 10, I think you can sort of, it's easier. But he's playing as an 8. He's literally in the middle of everything.
Yeah,
and I think we are starting to see a very, very, very good player now. I mean, he's
I think for me, it was a big adjustment for him. I think the Premier League is a completely different animal to Ligue 1. I think he was realizing very quickly, Christ, I am not getting the same amount of space or the amount of time on the ball here that I was getting in Ligue 1. And I think he's finally kind of made that adjustment now to the tempo of the Premier League. And he's getting into his flow now that, okay, I have to do everything a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper. I'm not going to get the same amount of time on the ball, and everything's got to be kind of snappier. And I think he's finally kind of now, this last couple of weeks, I think he's finally making that adjustment now, and he's starting to really come into his own.
Definitely, you're totally right. Yeah, he
now
is.
We're really seeing the quality.
Yes, very much so. And we're seeing, and as I said, what I think's quite interesting about about Paqueta, and if you watch it today, the way he passes the ball is not like anyone else I think I've seen in the Premier League. He opens up his body really opens it up. And if you watch him again, it's a unique way of passing that only he does. It's very strange. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's it's a Paqueta pass rather than a Declan Rice pass. It's sort of snappy and it's sort of like a little bit looks like it's out of control, but it's not. He's a very unusual player in terms of how he plays. But
he is. I remember he played one of the passes he played to Benny against Forest, where he got the ball down an inside left channel and he popped the ball into Benny, and then he went, and it looked like it was an accidental mishit pass.
Yeah,
because he plays it in this weird way. But and I've watched it over and over, and I was like, no, he meant it, but it just looked weird.
And it was right, and Benny didn't have to break stride. It was incredible.
It was perfect.
And if you
but it looked like it was kind of almost an accidental pass. But
that's what I mean. It's really strange. Like he follow, like you don't follow his eyes, you follow the feet, because he always looks one way. But I mean, if you saw that the goal, the attempt in the second half, just after Bowen hit the post, he did it with his left foot, but he sort of hit it. His foot's there. He sort of hits it there. It's a really bizarre angle. He's put his foot out rather than put his foot through it. He's done it as a side pass, and it was so close to go. It would have been, it would have been a proper goal of the season, goal of the month contender if it'd gone in. But yeah, he's a very unusual player, but I think he's a hell of a talent, mate. Well, we've got Ronaldinho timing on the ball is as the Paqueta. Yeah, I mean, as you said, I think sometimes it's when you like the great Brazilian players, particularly, they, as you said, it looks just so nonchalant, some of this passing they do, but it's so bang on. Wishing the Hammers a good luck but not so much on Thursday. Enjoy Larnaca. Come on, Skevy. We want you on the show. Please email us, westhamnetwork@gmail.com.
You know what it is with Paqueta? It's all very, and you get this with a lot of Brazilians that say it's very fluid.
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
I remember in the Forest game, first half, I think it was, where, again, on the inside left channel, Paqueta had the ball. He played a little pass, like straight pass, kind of with the outside of his left boot, but it was on the toes. Along the ground, little dink pass around the corner. Then he made a little darting run, like out to his left, and he got the 1-2 back. And then first time instep played it out to the wing to Paqueta, and if you watch it, it's all so fluid and,
Yeah.
and natural, and it's lovely to watch.
But he uses every part of his foot. So it's
Yeah,
not like usually most players will use their instep or their outstep or their laces. He uses the back heel, he uses the toes, the big toe, little toe. He's like cardboard box. He's doing it all. It's fascinating to watch. It's fascinating to watch him.
yeah,
I wish we had they brought those player cams back where
yeah,
you could just focus on one player and you've just watched him and it's really unusual, but it's I love watching it. And as Kenny said, obviously him and Emerson obviously played at Lyon together. So you would imagine there would be some connection there, and I think obviously the French connection, so to speak, with Ben Rama. He was obviously playing in France, but he came over to England as well. So we've got a lot of French-based players or players who have played in France now. The likes of
yeah,
Ariola, obviously, Aged, Zuma. Obviously Kira as well, Paqueta, Cornet as well. Cornet played at Lyon as well. I think Cornet played there as well. So
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a pool we're trying to fish in. I think West Ham are from in terms of recruitments, definitely because there's some bargains to be had there because it's all up shit creek without a paddle at the moment in terms of the money in League R. That was our best passing game versus Man U. Maybe, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's up there. Yeah, there was some really slick passing in that game, some really good stuff.
Yeah, let's hope we get a win with that team. Yep, as I said, anyone who's new, the team is along the bottom. We'll bring it up again just so you guys can see it in its full glory. Only 8 players on the bench. Also, that's the wrong one. That's it. That's better. 8 players on the bench. Back four of Johnson, Aged, Ogbonna, and Emerson. Emerson left back. Johnson right back again, right side centre back, and Ogbonna left side centre back. And then you've got you've got Rice and Souček and Paqueta as a midfield three, with Souček probably pushing up more as a 10 role. Bowen on one side, Ben Rama on the other side, Danny Ings back in the side on the bench, Joseph Anang, Christian Heggie, who today he did an interview to say he might want to do some loan football next year, which is fair enough for him, I think, at the moment. Also, that would mean Nathan Trott coming back anyway because he's on loan as well. Flynn Downs, Aaron Cresswell, Fornals, Kurt Zuma returns back to the side on the bench. Lanzini and Skamaka, as Andy says, there's no Antonio on that bench. Did Cornet pick up a knock last night? I don't think he was gonna. He was fixtured in for this one. I imagine he'll be back in the squad in terms of Cornet for the Larnaca game, and maybe that's Antonio as well. Don't know if he's injured or anything like that. And I agree, Moisey, I said, Mbama, or even as someone said, Marshall didn't play in the 21s or 18s this weekend, so he could have got on a bench, but never does fill it up with a youth team player for some reason, which is very, very strange. Because that Marshall kid, he's mustard. He's gonna score goals. He's gonna be that type of player. That sort of. I'm not saying he's not as he's in terms of that type of, but that sort of Lee Trundle, that type of player in whatever league he's going to play in, he's going to score goals. He's just got that natural goal scoring thing about him, and you can see why the club are keen for trying to get these 18s. This pathway, so to speak, because they've got some very good players.
There's some really good players in there. Obviously, we've got Ollie Scarles as well coming through there, and who was the other lad that recently signed a contract? I've drawn a blank for a second.
We've got there's Clayton, Regan Clayton, the left back. They've got Ollie Scars. They've got Casey. He was on the bench, the centre back. They've got Levi Lang as well. He was playing the 21s yesterday.
Earthy looks really good.
Yeah, they've got some
Earthy
very good
looks
players.
a really good midfielder, and someone in the chat will tell me who the lad was that signed a contract a couple of weeks ago, professional contract.
Yeah, there was one of them, weren't there?
I know his name. It's just Orford.
Orford.
Lewis
Orford. Yeah, Lewis Orford.
He looks a good prospect. So we got some really decent players down there.
Yeah, he does, and obviously Mbama as well. He's. I think they've got a good chance of definitely getting through the 18s to getting through to the final of the FA Cup.
I think we should. I think we should, like, these players when we send them out. I think once they're in the under 18s and playing that well, I think we should start looking soon to get them loaned out in Europe. Actually, if you send players like that somewhere like Belgium, If you can get them
Yeah.
playing in the Belgian first division, I mean, they'll come on a ton over there, in places like that. I'd rather send them there than Scunthorpe. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather send these players out into Europe, into some of the kind of lesser leagues in Europe, where they're actually going to like play some really nice football, get some different coaching, just to give them something, a new kind of element to their game, different type of coaching, playing a different style of football. I think Brighton do that a lot, actually. That Brighton send their youngsters a lot to places like Belgium. I'd like to see us start doing stuff like that.
That's a great shout, because you think, one of the things I think that was clear during our Europa League run last year was the lack of nous in Europe in terms of playing European teams. The
Yeah.
dark arts, so to speak. I think we're a little bit better, a bit more clued up. But the likes, as you said, if George Earthy, he's a great player. And so he, for example, if he can, get sent, as you said, to, I know, Vitesse Arnhem, well, that's Chelsea's one, but you're totally right. I mean, look at Josh Cullen. Look how much he came on playing in Belgium. Obviously, the likes of Reece Oxford obviously took him a few clubs to get to, but he seems to be more settled into the Bundesliga. You've got what's the lad's name? Blair Tuggett. He's out there now. Obviously, got
Yeah, I mean,
released
look
from
at
West Ham.
the likes of Bellingham and Jadon Sancho and stuff that have gone out, abroad young and have really come on a ton playing for those teams.
Yeah, you're totally right, and I think you're right. Maybe sending them to Rotherham and places like that doesn't help them. It
I
might
don't think
toughen
it
them
does
up.
anything for them. No, I don't think it does much for them going down to
No,
these League One teams and stuff. Send them to Belgium or someplace.
yeah,
Send them to Division Two in France. A really good league where they be playing. Like I said, different style of coaching, different little way of playing. I think that would be much better for their development.
yeah, you're totally right. Totally right. GP's winding you up. Loving the content and Hammers chat with Irish Tommy. There we go. Oh, actually, it was the Hammers chat takeover yesterday, wasn't it? We had Chris on, we had Gonzo on yesterday. It was good show yesterday. Good fun. Yeah, top boys, old Gons. We love him. Is he there today? Has he gone there today?
He's down in Brighton today.
I
Yeah.
thought so. Yeah, I thought we'd be at Brighton today. Yeah. No, I think it's a great show, actually. And yeah, I mean, there's some great. I mean, even below the first team of the 18s, you've got Steve Jones, Steve Jones's lad. He's there. He's in the 18s now. Yeah, I think he scored the other day. And yeah, I mean, they're doing a great thing, and hopefully they will get the. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I think the game is going to be the first week of April or the second week of April. I think it's at the London Stadium, but don't quote me yet. But I think that's what we're looking to do, and hopefully we'll get a good crowd. I mean, it reminds me back to the time that 1999 FA Youth Cup side with the likes of Joe Cole and Carrick and Stephen Bywater, Richie Garcia, Izzy, Anwar Udim, Bertie Brayley, some great players there. All went and played professional football at some level, and there was 25,000, 30,000 there probably that day. They only opened one stand, and they had to keep opening up more and more stands. And by the end, there were players around the side. And I remember that story. I remember that game very well, because obviously we'd beaten Coventry, hadn't we? And I think it was 9-0 in aggregate. I think it's 3-0 at their gaff, and I think we won 6-0 at our gaff. And we had and Jeremy was doing the announcing at the time before Martin took over. He said, ladies and gentlemen, please don't leave. We'll be presenting this was like 5 minutes ago. We'll be presenting the trophy to the winners, whoever that may be, despite the fact that West Ham were 9-0 up. And apparently afterwards, he was walking down the tunnel, and Gordon Strachan, who was there, obviously as Coventry first team manager at the time, had him up by the throat on the you're saying, I've got kids in there crying because they heard what you said. And he was like, well, what? It's like, but like such a little shit with someone Strachan. I think Chris Kirkland was in goal for Coventry that game.
It was.
Anyway.
But Richard Garcia was such a good player.
Oh, I love Rich. Yeah, he's top boy.
He was
Rich.
such a talent.
Yeah, he was lovely guy, Richie, and he's still manager at Perth. I think Perth City. I think he's still there. We've had him on the channel. We'll get him back on. Actually, we'll get Rich back on soon. Actually, I might try and get a bunch of them back on for we'll do like a Friends Reunited show. We'll get Anwar, we'll get Adam, we'll get Newton, we'll get Bertie on. Yes, that's what we're going to do, Irish Tommy. We're going to do Friends Reunited, the 1999 youth side. don't think Joe Cole and Michael Carrick will turn up, but the others will be. Tommy is right. So many of the best British players seem to relish playing abroad. That does seem to be the way of choice now. There's the likes of Sancho, Bellingham, not necessarily, they leave to play in the German league or whatever, and they come back much better. I mean, look at the guy that Chelsea bought, Noni, the right winger. He was at Tottenham, weren't he? And he left and then went to Ajax, I think. He didn't pay for Ajax, and then they paid 40. Graham Potter paid 40 million for him to come back. It does seem the way they go, in it, just to like go abroad and develop and then come over. But no, it's all good. Wherever they go, they need to get games. Otherwise, what's the point? I totally agree.
Yeah.
Do you think Louise Howe will ever be around the starting 11? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Maybe next year. I think he's
Yeah,
right.
I think we've lost Dawson. I think Oggy. I don't know what's going to happen with Oggy. Whether he'll go. I think he might do another year and then retire, Oggy. But we probably will be looking for another kind of. Well, Moyes, I think, if he's here, we don't know if Moyes will be manager next season. But if he is, in the summer, he'll certainly be looking to bring in another centre back.
Yeah,
and
regardless.
Maybe Lizelle could get the nod, like to come up to the bench at least or something, but we'll see how it pans out. But
I agree. I think regardless whoever's in the dugout next summer or in the summer, centre back.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, let's say things go very well out in Larnaca.
Yeah.
And we're really comfortable for that second leg.
Maybe.
It might, that's the kind of game where you go, okay, let's have a look at a couple of these kids. Maybe, give Ogbonna, obviously isn't likely to play in that game. Throw Luzau in there at centre back and say, all right, lad, let's see what you've got.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? The dream is to go out there and do a job, come back 3 or 4-0 up. And then, London Stadium, you got to think, play these, as you said, maybe the likes of Fornals and those get game, like Lanzini get game time, and as you said, someone like Louise Howe maybe give Heggie a goal, a running goal, or a Nang, and just to take the pressure off people like Areola for at least one game. Yeah, no, I think it's a great shout. That's the dream. I don't think it's always a dream, but it never happens, is it? It's always we're going to scrape a 1-0 win, and then it'll be all fun and games. But they'll probably go 1-up at London Stadium, and it's all fun and games again. Oh dear! I've just seen someone. I think Brighton have put some pictures up of David Moyes signing autographs with the Brighton fans and taking pictures. Even the Brighton fans love David Moyes, says the title. There we go.
I'm sure they love a lot about West Ham.
I'm sure they love it. I'm sure they do. Yeah, come in, guys. Come in.
Always welcome. Yeah. Always welcome here.
Can we play you every week? Yeah, exactly. Mo, hope you're well. Yes, we are doing the watch along, but obviously
we're like the guest that comes into the house but never eats any of the biscuits or the cake.
No, they just love us coming in because like we pad out the room. We make the numbers up. But we're not going to take anything away from them. It's all good. I think our other European leagues are more willing to give youngsters time to develop. I totally agree. I think the Premier League is not designed to give youngsters game time. It's not.
Yeah, we need to develop relationships with teams in Europe for sending out our best young talent to spend a season or two over there and develop them.
Yeah, and you're totally right. I mean, you look at, we was talking the other day about, the likes of Anang and Heggie and, players or any club in the Premier League wouldn't give a debut necessarily to a youth team goalkeeper. They're happy to give a debut to a midfielder who's under 18 or a striker or a centre-back, but the goalkeeper not. They'd rather get an emergency loan and bring in a Darren Randolph or a Ben Foster, and whereas the Italian leagues, look at Donnarumma, how many games he's played, and stuff like that before he went to PSG, and we're not that advanced in terms of giving youngsters, particularly young goalkeepers, a decent leg up. I think.
Yeah, I suppose it's because there's no hiding place for a keeper if
they make a mistake, they're fucked, aren't they? Yeah. If they make a mistake, I mean, it's the only place. It's only place in the team that if they make a mistake, it 99, out of 100 will guarantee a goal, doesn't it? Scott, who's coming over from Canada, is planning to watch an under-18s or under-21s game when I'm in April. There are no home games during that time. Really? Oh
When's
well.
the FA Cup semi-final?
I think that's good. I think we've penciled in for the 6th of April, but I don't know when Scott's coming over. But he must be coming over that soon because because we play Fulham one of those days. Anyway, Scott, keep an eye on the channels and stuff. There might be something. Yeah, but you'll be playing, yeah, because Fulham's on the Saturday, isn't it? So I think we might be playing on the Thursday at home. Don't quote me, but I think that's what I've heard. But I haven't been booked in yet. Haven't been booked in for that one yet. But keep an eye out on the channel, and we'll find out. I want Oggy to retire as a Hammer and go into management for us. Well, Oggy has said that he's not going to. He doesn't want to sign for another club. West Ham's going to be the last club he signs for. He plays for. That's what he said. Then he said he'd like another contract. Obviously, his contract runs out in the summer. For me, it's a no-brainer to offer him a 1-year extension.
Yeah, give him a year. I mean, there's never any harm having Oggy on the bench.
No. Exactly. And also, we forgot about Jamal Baptiste. He's still kicking around, and he played his first game for 6 months, wasn't it, last week against the under-21s? Yeah, strange. I think he's a bit of a Ravel Morrison vibe about him. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
By what Moyes has not said, rather than what he said.
Yeah, the worry is, he needs to get his head right,
Which I think happens with all. I mean, I remember we interviewed Tony Carr, and he was talking about Reece Oxford as one of the ones who got away, so to speak. But and actually, I remember I was talking to like Potsy and that lot, and all like Kenny Brown and Mark Robson and Kevin Keenan. And one of the questions asked for them was, which one we surprised didn't break into the first team consistently, and they said Reece. But he got into he started getting an agent, and then it just became once you get an agent, that's the trouble. Then you're sort of a bit buggered, really, because players start demanding things, and I think Anyway, what we got here? Anton has no link at the moment.
So
okay.
Scott was just saying he arrives on the 8th and heads back on the 15th.
Okay. But we says at least Oggy doesn't need a translator to speak to individuals. Indeed. I mean, that's the thing, Oggy's a great team teammate. Obviously, I remember when we signed Lagarde, he was the only one around the ground when we'd signed him, and Colton Cole had the Colton Cole done the interview. Oggy was around, so yes. What we got here? Would love to see a fresh young manager. Well, I think everyone would like to, really, but we'll see what happens there. Have to say, I've not been too impressed with Louise Al. I thought he played all right. It's funny, people have different opinions. Give the Twinsy a thumbs up. Great show, you boys doing that. So we are, if we can find our bloody link at the moment. So we're trying to sort it out at the moment. Great to see so many kids at the Brighton Stadium. Yeah, fair play. I mean, Brighton's a great ground to go to. Great ground, really nice ground. Can be easy. But apparently today the trains will be a bit fucked by all accounts. But hopefully they will. They're okay. I messaged H. She got there all right. I just checked with her because sometimes she likes to send a little video over when she's at the ground for us. So, but she managed to get there in time. Europe can't allow to spend stupid like the Premier League does. Yeah, it's a great shout. Could be one of the reasons why they develop their youth teams, because they can obviously sell them to Premier League players as well. Besides, it's a beard off. I need to trim mine off, actually. Anyway, Zoomer time. We'll see. Also had to play an extra 1,500 to change my flights to make the Fulham game, and those tickets cost a mint. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Long Yellow as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to find a link at the moment. We'll find one eventually. Right, let me just sort this out. What we got here? No, that's the 25th. Yeah, it's weird. It's not going to be one of those really annoying games where there's not the link is just rubbish. Let's wait and see when we'll carry on. Sorry, we're just trying to find a link. Otherwise, it'd be the worst watch along in the world. Otherwise, we'll be watching it, listening to the West Ham commentary, which I don't particularly want to do. The striker for Brighton is 18. He certainly is. Evan Ferguson, playing very well at the moment. First league start. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't he? His first league start. Yeah, it would be. Yeah. New key for Brighton today. Yet still isn't in between. Still is in between rather than what's his face rather than Sanchez. Where is the West Ham game? Let me look on here so I can find it. Right, let me click on that one. Oh no, that's not right. Oh, dear. Anyway, terribly exciting content at the moment while I try and find a link for the game. We'll find it eventually. Anyway, they've kicked off. They've kicked off, although we don't know where we can watch the game yet, but they've kicked off. So I'll put that on there anyway, just to say they've kicked off. What do you think the scores will be today, Tommy?
3-2 West Ham.
3-2.
Yeah.
3-2, 3-2. In the chat, what are we thinking about the scores are going to be? Obviously, they've just kicked off. West Ham Brighton have just kicked off. Yeah, I'm liking the back. I'm liking this side today. I think this side looks good. Although I'm trying to still find the link. Anton's in the background trying to find the link as well. Right, let me leave and I'll try and find the link. I'll let you two talk and I'll try and find.
Right, I think I'll send it, but yeah, I'll put it in the thing for you just now. But it's a big delay, Tommy. So, 2 seconds, everyone. Hope you're all well. Can have a look at that, Tommy. See if that works. If you can hear me, okay. There seems to be a. I'll let you go and try and figure it out, Tommy boy. Thank you for joining us, mate.
No problem. We'll have to
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Or just
yeah.
There was I think there must be a slight delay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Cheers for that, Tommy, mate. That's let me just quickly just double check. .com. We'll put it in there.
Yeah, I'll check that. Have you got it up and running? Is it working for you?
Yes. Ish. Yes. I've just kicked off. So there you go.
Perfect. Talk to you soon, mate.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Right, hope everyone's well. Thank you for joining us on the Match Day Live. I'm just going to give you an idea of where we're at in terms of times. So I'm on 18 seconds, 19, 20, 21. West Ham are defending the ball with Tommy Soucek, who plays the ball out wide to Ben Rama, tries to play upfield to Danny Ings, but the ball was intercepted and played upfield for Brighton. Take the ball down. Brighton put the ball now back in the Sorry for that delay in start. I know Russ in the background, and we thought it was going to be flawless. We thought it was going to be a lovely transition, but it absolutely ended not like that at all. Brighton have got a hold of the ball, keeping hold of possession in their own half. Out wide now. They've made the run. Tries to get in behind Ogbonna, but he intercepts the ball and gets it. Brighton have still got the ball now down the right-hand side. It's gone out to the wide right. Now they've played the ball through the middle. He's got a bit of space. Casino cuts inside. Oh, no, please don't do this to me today. Not today of all days. Brighton are on the attack just inside the box. Tries to skip by a Gerd. From Emerson, but it looks like West Ham have won a goal kick. West Ham have won the goal kick. So like I said, okay, hold on a second here. So it's a goal kick, Areola. Just waiting for Areola to take the goal kick. Pings the ball upfield. Emerson flicks it on. No one's there to win it though, but Brighton do have the ball again. Pings the ball forward, but the Brighton defender comes and collects it and plays it back to their keeper. Of course, they're missing Sanchez today. Out wide to the right back. Plays the ball forward. Nice little one-touch football there from Brighton. Sprays the ball across field to the left back. They've got a hold of it. They're just keeping hold of possession. This is what they like to do, though. They keep the ball in their own half and invite West Ham to come under pressure, any opposition team to come under pressure, and then try and find the gaps. They've got a lot of movement, but sometimes then you can get the errors there. But they've done well to get out of that situation, and the ball plays out to the wide right with the player now on the attack. Oh, God. This is going to be extremely unreliable today. West Ham on the attack. Ben Rama down the left-hand side. But the ball... Brighton have got a hold of the ball with the goalkeeper. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm 3 minutes and 7 seconds in. But I have an extremely unreliable stream here just now, which is extremely unfortunate for the first time in a very long time. Tommy Souček intercepts for Danny Ings. Oh, it's unlucky. Keeper comes out. That's a good. That's West Ham pressing, putting the forcing Brighton to play the ball through the back. Tommy Souček intercepts the ball, and it nearly falls into the path of Danny Ings. Oh, hold on a minute. Let's give this a whack. Brighton again playing the ball from the deep. Oh, there we go. There goes the stream. Apologies. Just give me 2 seconds. I should be able to get this back up. No, that one's not happening. Sorry, if anyone has got it in the background, do you want to jump on and give them the commentary? Yeah, I'm clicking on that one now. Do apologise, everyone. Go on.
While Anton's figuring out his stream, I'll jump on and he can sort it out. Right, so we're 6 minutes 15. Paqueta's down injured again. All right, Matt, let me take Matt's face off. Can't see anything. There we go. He's at his knee. Paqueta's at his knee this time. Challenge from McAllister. McAllister, Nicola, all three of them. It was McAllister, it was Casado, and I think Matoma as well. All ended up getting injured, and Lewis Dunk's the one he picks up. 6 minutes, 45 seconds gone.
And yet two of the bottom six already winning. Goals flying everywhere.
Yep, has to happen, and it has to happen.
Bournemouth 1-0 up at Arsenal after 9 seconds.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Palace have had a goal ruled out away at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Palace
are like they've got. Yeah, I think they've got the worst points in the league so far this season. I think they've scored. They've only got 4 points.
It's like the turn of after the World Cup.
Yeah.
West Ham pick the ball back. Souček feeds into Ings, in plays it off, but it's a poor layoff from Brighton. Bring it back. It's been a lively start.
Yeah, they've both tried to. It's like someone said they're trying to find their ways. Is Anton all right?
Paqueta picks it off again, but loses out to Caicedo in the end. That's an interesting situation, Caicedo.
Yeah, he's just.
Bear in mind that he wrote that massive farewell on Twitter in the January window, trying to force his way out to Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's just on a new contract, isn't he? Yeah, but that's to maintain their investment, though, isn't it? That's what it is, isn't it? That's like, yeah, it's like any. I think there's going to be as Casado, as Declan Rice is potentially going, Jude Bellingham is potentially going in the summer, Maddison is potentially going in the summer, JWP is potentially going in the summer. So there's going to be about 6 or 7 like quality centre mids. It is, and that's why I think we've got a chance if Southampton going down, if they do go down, of us getting short of Ward-Prowse, because it's almost like he's sort of that tier 2. Yeah. Souček. So look, Moyes did that. Even Moyes just flung his eyes.
Bear in mind, he's in there for more attacking output at the moment. So they're pushing him throughout the pitch again. And you've got the likes of Lanzini or Fornals that could play there.
Yeah.
And Moyes is trying to give his faith in Souček. Like, no, You know, because you get the physicality in the height, in the box to box. You know, you can do the final third.
Yeah.
And then you can't make a 10-yard pass under no pressure at all.
Oh dear, he almost made a 3-yard pass. He almost did, Mandy. Nearly. But yes, it's both sides are still trying to feel the game out, aren't they? They're trying to feel each other into the game.
So do we find out why Sanchez isn't playing?
No, Luke hasn't got back. I text Luke, who we had it on the channel this morning. He hasn't got back to me yet.
I had a scan through sort of Brighton Twitter when the team was announced.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like divide 50 of like, why is he not playing? And other people saying he's made so many mistakes. Good covering from Johnson there.
Yeah.
So many mistakes that he's about time he dropped because he's just not making the saves he should be making. We're going into midfield. West Ham passing around the back quite confidently.
Yeah, nice triangles. Nice bit of triangle action.
Good link-up play between Emerson and Benrahma.
Yeah. Back to Areola. Curling left ball. Nice flick on from Paqueta, but goes straight to a Brighton player. Ings snipping away at the centre half at Webster, I think it was. I think, didn't someone say that Ings' runs aren't ridiculous last week against Forest in terms of his like 10 kilometres or something ridiculous like that? Ball's out wide. Solly Marsh gets the ball just inside. He's going to take a shot inside the box. No, he's cut inside.
Ooh.
He's done Paqueta. He's done a good save by Areola. It was a very tight angle.
Everyone just let the Samba Solly March walk in.
I think I just saw Gonzo in the chat. The crowd just said very quickly. Solly March. Paqueta just he went past Paqueta like he won't stay nothing.
Literally just that was like old Juninho, just give a bit of the jazz hands and sidesteps, and he just walked through about 5 defenders.
Yeah,
and a shot in straight Areola.
As Michael says, don't worry till the second half for us. Says we've never been behind at half time. We haven't been this year. This year we haven't been behind, so we're bound to be today. In the same way, we haven't conceded this corner all season, and here we go.
Apart from when we scored our own one.
Yes, exactly.
The only time we conceded a goal from a corner this season is when we scored it ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mentioned that commentator.
Huh?
I mentioned the lack of goals from set pieces for Brighton.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say
That's the thing. It's like, we haven't conceded a cut off a corner today. 110 corners we've defended, but Brighton have scored 5 corners against us in the last 8 games or something like that. So, Mitoma tried to get past. Johnson's very, very good defending. Just eased him out. Goal kick to West Ham.
Tyrick Lamptey down for Brighton.
Yeah, Lamptey's down. Good player. I like him.
He's been sort of one to be ruined by injuries because a couple of years back he was one of the sort of hottest prospects in the league for young right backs. He was right up there alongside Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like his left leg's fallen off. It hasn't fallen off, but it looks like he's... Yeah, 12 and a half minutes gone so far. Kevin Nolan having a little chat with Danny Ings on the touchline.
It just doesn't do anything, sorry, Mark.
Paqueta just... I mean, that's the worst. That's the worst defending ever. He literally just shows him his other side. He just went, all right, I'll just go down that side. And
I thought pretty much done the same as well, though. It was like, oh, yeah.
Bonner's like, you're going there. So I suppose Bonner...
It wasn't even like a step over or a drop of the shoulder. He just shaped the pass one way. They put a leg out to block it. He went the other way.
He just went, go that way. All right, I'll go that way. Cameras zoom to Roberto De Zerbi, who's obviously he's banned from the touchline, but he's up in the box on his phone. Probably, he's getting texts. He's put the assistant manager's now putting his AirPods in.
They've got like some sort of headsets. They've got to keep the phone up to their ear. Like, the big old Bluetooth.
Anyway, West Ham on the attack into the half, but no, give the ball away out for it. Brighton.
He's down again.
He's down again. He's off. Yeah, he's off. He'll be off soon. But yeah, it looks like Roberto's on the phone and his assistant is touchline with. He just put his AirPods in.
They were probably discussing him coming on. I'm guessing they're trying to quickly try and get something done. Like,
yeah,
who's coming on? Who's going to be the sub? Look, he hasn't. Well, he's on Bluetooth himself.
He hasn't got Bluetooth. Yeah, he's on the phone in the director's box going.
He's actually got the old. He's on the blower. He's got it out, walking up and down.
He obviously the signal's not very good. Why haven't they got a walkie-talkie or something like that? Something closed circuit. That just seems like
closed circuit. Yeah, like some sort of
walkie-talkie. That's it, isn't it? That's all you need is a walkie-talkie. Mobile phone signal. That's going to be. We know London Stadium how shit that is. How shit is the London Stadium? Like Wi-Fi and stuff and phone reception. Love it.
Nothing really.
Yeah, it looks like
landed.
Yeah, he's just fallen his foot and going to be coming up, I think. Vitamin's going to probably come on. That's good news for us because obviously
I don't know who's coming on.
I think the Vateman. I reckon or Vitamin Vateman. I think he'll come on.
He's not a bad one, Veltman.
No, but he's not the pace of Laperty, is he? So
no, he's more of a Dan Burn at Newcastle.
Yeah,
centre back you've chucked out there that's defensively going to do a job.
Yeah, looks like he's coming on stripped off.
He's not going to bomb on entirely, is he?
No, be no.
He's not going to have the pace impact that Lamptey will have.
No, totally.
It's only taken a solid 15 minutes. 15 bloody minutes. But I'm back.
Whoa. All right. Have you used the link that we're using?
We're on 1540.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Right, I'll drop out. I'll go you.
Matt, can you drop your camera down a bit, mate? You said to tell you. That's what you said to do. So thanks for joining us. Keeper's got the ball, yeah, Matt? Brighton playing the ball through the back.
Well, riskily playing it through the back at the moment.
Yep.
Let me know
your time, mate. Let me know your time.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Right, cool, yeah. We're the same. So Brighton have got the ball now through the middle of the park, play it out wide. Drop deep in to collect it. West Ham got many men behind the box. He switches play completely. Ben Johnson tries to intercept him, but can't get it. He's done well. He's knocked the player down. Ref's blowing the penalty. I think that's soft, mate. Brighton have got a penalty. He's just ran into him, though. Yeah, I don't think that's...
Bones run into the back of him. There's no way it's not a penalty. There's no way. It's just awful. There's no way. The ball gets switched from right to left. I don't think it's totally drops two. He sits inside Johnson. Johnson overcommits, loses the ball.
That's the problem there was Johnson committed. I know what you're saying, mate. It's the most softest penalty you will see. It's the most softest penalty you will see.
It's a penalty. It is a penalty.
It's ridiculous, though. I know, but it is soft.
It's just pointless. I don't know what Bowen's trying to do. Once Matoma cuts across him, once Matoma cuts across him, he has to let it go. That has to be it. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Penalty.
It's always not a penalty. Once he cuts across inside Johnson, Bowen can't touch him. Has to let him go. There's any touch on him, that happens. Penalty. Stonewall.
Anyway, Brighton are on the penalty. Areola in goal. Big man. Go on, son. Go on, Areola. Go on, Alphonse. Go on, Alphonse. Scores 1-0 Brighton.
Top corner. You don't save them. Areola goes the right way, but McAllister puts it in the top corner. And it's, you know what? Can't say that we do. We haven't been... West Ham had a good first 5 minutes. And the last maybe 15 minutes just been all one way. Well, we don't look at it. We don't look up for it. We don't look pacey. We don't look bothered.
The situation you've got here, Matt, is that you're playing against a Brighton team that invite pressure. So West Ham cannot do what we did necessarily against Nottingham Forest, because that's exactly the style of football that Brighton want. They want a team on the front foot coming at them because they find the spaces, they drop into all the holes, and they have got a lot of clever footballers in their team who play under that style of play. So West Ham,
in theory,
have to
change. Now you're 1-0 down.
Well,
it's
that's what we know. We
harder
don't have
to go
a choice.
up a gear than it is to go down a gear. No, it's harder to sit in defence and then try and attack than it is to be attacking and then defending. And West Ham are now going to have to try and attack. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing Moyes has done wrong. Moyes has picked the right team. And as a manager, you can't... Rice has now got something in his eye.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, Rice is popped down because he's got. It looks like he's got something in his eye. Maybe is that what it is? So when we go back to the penalty incident, the ball got switched completely. Ben Johnson commits. He commits to win the header, and he absolutely misjudges it, which puts us in a very difficult situation because the player then drives into the box. He collects it on the edge of the box. He drives into the box, and Bowen then has a collision with him. And there's a collision there, and then therefore the penalty is awarded, and McAllister puts it in the back of the net. Anyway, they're on the attack now down the right-hand side. Crosses it in and wins a throw-in from it. Oh, it's a contact lens issue. Did not know that Mr. Declan Rice had the old contacts in. West Ham intercept it, play the ball forward. Back to West Ham with Ben Rama. Tries to play it through the middle. Brighton are there to collect the ball. West Ham have got it though. Johnson pings the ball forward, tries to find Danny Ings, but he's never going to get that ball. Ball's just playing. No one can really get a hold of it. It's just a bit scrappy just now, isn't it, since the goal? No one can really hold on to the ball. West Ham have gone down in the middle of the park with Bowen, and it's a free kick to West Ham. Matt, a bit scrappy after the goal?
Maybe that's what we need. Try and unsettle Brighton for a bit. So at least if we're not again, West just
well, they've won the back ball straight away though.
Rice.
Brighton are on the attack now on the edge of the box. On the byline. Brighton play the ball back. It
might suit West Ham to make it scrappy if
Ben Johnson's just done enough. The players nipped the ball by Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson slid tackle in and put it out for a Brighton corner.
Yeah, it may suit us to make it scrappy if we're not going to get going at the moment anyway. Try and stop them playing, but even there, like you've seen the last two games, how well Paqueta and Rice have linked up, and then Paqueta plays it inside the Rice, but he plays it, was it 5 yards in front of him? Nobody knew him, and Brighton again went on counter attack. I just don't know what it is, but we just don't know how to play against Brighton. No matter what the manager is, we don't know how to play against them.
Corner Brighton, cleared from West Ham. The edge of the box. We can't win the first header though. So the issue right now I'm noticing is we can't win the first ball or the second ball. Danny Ings collects it and then we've just given it away really easily to Darren Bowen. Brighton on the attack down the right-hand side.
Composure's entirely gone right now. We've got no composure at all. Penalties like absolutely rock them. They don't know what to do now.
Dunk on the ball for Brighton. He's tried to switch play completely. He does find his player and he takes it first time and it bounces out for a West Ham goal kick. What we really need now is a little spell of possession. Johnson.
Look
how high up Brighton are. Yeah, but look how high up Brighton are. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we playing it short? Look, Johnson
under pressure.
On our own corner flag. Was then forced to try and play it long. And gone to Rice on the edge of the box.
Plays the ball forward. Ben Rama's got it. He's going on. Go on, Benny. He's got one-on-one. Go on. That's a good tackle from that player. Oh, Bowen's done well. Bowen hit it. Oh my God, he's got to do better than that. What a tackle that is from Brighton defender. That is an unbelievable tackle from the Brighton defender. It's an unbelievable tackle from the Brighton defender. Bowen breaks through from Ben Rama, and that's better from West Ham though. Good. Go on, Paqueta on the edge of the box. Plays the ball forward to Souček. Space. Shoots. Oh, it's a save again. Ben Rama on the edge of the box. He's got two to beat. Puts it onto his left foot. Brings it back onto his right. He's got bodies there helping him. Emerson pings the ball into the box. Back post. It's gone over the top of Souček. and Brighton are going there.
Owen had to finish it. He hit straight to the keeper. And he had to score. Slated Antonio for it in midweek, and Bowen's done the same.
Paqueta's failed to play.
He's turned, mate. He's got dribbled round and made an angle, and he's hit straight to the goalkeeper.
I think it was it not the defender that saved that?
I think it was straight to Steele.
Let's have a look
Bowen,
here. Benrahma wins it in the middle of the park. Benrahma goes 1-on-1 with the defender. He gets intercepted and tackled. Bowen nips in, clicks the ball, gets round the defender, and then goes to shoot. And it is a save from the keeper. Yeah, you're right. Probably should be putting that in the corner.
Has to score. I was cynical with Antonio on Wednesday night. Has to score. You don't get many better chances in the Premier League than that. Skipped away 1-on-1 on the angle. Brighton have got another player down now. Solly March is down. Breaking play is Solly March is down for Brighton. Brighton have put the ball out of play. He's played a pass with no tackle, no one around him, and he's now holding his ankle on the floor. I don't know if this is going to be another injury full sub in the first half for Brighton.
I was going to say it's a big blow for Brighton, but the thing you've got is when you've got a team playing on the up.
Hits him on the knee. He's straight at the goalkeeper. If he puts it in the corner, he scores. Because Steele's just stood up to block it.
It's another good save, though, from the Tommy Souček. I mean, if that had gone through, Danny Ings was there, put the ball in the back of the net.
Danny Ings is waiting to play in the back of the net.
25 minutes gone, 26 minutes gone. Brighton 1, West Ham 0. Penalty to Brighton. McAllister put it in the back of the net, and West Ham have really kind of struggled, to be honest, to get into the vibe of this game yet. It's been a bit scrappy. Brighton have had reasonable play, but we've had really good chance there just about 5 minutes ago where Bowen hit the ball at the keeper. But it looks like Brighton are about to make potentially their second sub already of the afternoon due to injuries. I can't see how he's going to last. Can you?
No, I don't know if you saw the replay when you was off a second ago, but he played a pass when no one was near him, and his standing leg, I think, got caught in the turf. So he could have opened his ligaments up on his ankle. It's definitely some sort of ankle thing. He's going to try and run it off, but
he's coming back on. Yeah.
Realistically, I don't think he's going to run that off. It could be one of them where, he may be better off for the season not being on the pitch, not better off staying off, because is he just going to do more damage? But he's trying to play on. Brighton are playing it around the back. Danny Ings putting a bit of pressure on. They've played it wide to Veltman. Into Solly March. We'll see it here. Souček in
70% possession to Brighton, to West Ham 30%.
West Ham have only really got hold of the ball in the last couple of minutes. They've been in traffic for the last 20. Souček with a flick on. Can't find Benrahma. Rice intercepts the second ball, but he can't find Emerson. It goes out for a Brighton throw-in.
It's going to test West Ham's resolve now. Brighton away. Brighton, I was going to say Brighton away is a tough fixture. Brighton at home or away is a tough fixture for West Ham.
Tough fixture. We just don't know. We never seem to know how to play them. It's like every time we play Brighton, the tactics have changed from the previous game. And Moyes doesn't know what to do about it. Moyes sets up to play the way that obviously they played the last game, and then they changed it. And Danny Ings a bit late on Casado there, but refs played advantage. They're very good at keeping position. They spread it wide. Solly March, who looks
that's it though, mate. They're very
covered. But then
they can move from the
Rice brings it forward.
Matt, they can move into the final third very, very quickly. That's what they're very good at. I've got to give them credit. I don't like doing it, especially when West Ham are playing them, but the one thing that was good play from Paqueta, nice play again from Souček. That's it. West Ham have got the ball now again. Paqueta plays a nice ball through Benrahma. He does a dummy. He drives forward. He's in a centre circle. Oh, it's one too many touches, but he's fouled, and it's West Ham get a free kick. It was a foul. McAllister trips him over.
I need to see it again.
It's as soft as a penalty.
I think it was softer than a penalty, to be honest.
Nah, mate.
And he does really well, but I think he gets caught in the blind spot.
I'm not denying remotely. He slips as well. I'm not denying remotely that that's not a penalty.
That's what probably threw me off a bit, is the fact that he slips.
But take away the one thing from the fact that that's a penalty. It's a soft penalty. Because the rules are ridiculous that they allow that. Doesn't matter. I know what you're saying. I know the rules. But I know that. No, understand what I'm trying to say. It's soft. If I touched you like that, you would not fall. Even if you were running and I touched you like that, you would not fall. I get the rules, so it is a penalty. But you wouldn't fall. That's the difference. Matt, you're a rugby player, mate.
Across the back of him. You run across the back of him.
Player, mate. You're a rugby player, mate. Are you a wuss?
Running at but I'm not.
Right. Tell
that
me.
Big. The smaller you are, the easier you are getting off.
I know it's the rules. No, listen. I know it's the rules, and I know you shouldn't touch him, and I know it's a penalty. But it drives me insane. Anyway, West Ham on the attack now with Paqueta down the right hand side. Nice pass, Danny Ings. Oh, it's unlucky. Brighton come in and clear the ball for a West Ham throw in. Is it corner?
Nice corner.
Nice ball from Paqueta.
Done well there.
There as well.
West Ham sort of come alive in the last 10 minutes, but
corner West Ham.
Damage was done in the first 20.
Corner to West Ham, pings the ball in. Decent corner, no one was there, and they won it. Someone's down.
You never have anyone on the edge of the box.
Who's gone down for West Ham? Yeah. Ball's gone all the way back with Areola. Closest player to him is Ogbonna, and then apart from that, he's talking about a good 30 yards to the next player. Again, screaming at him to come back.
We started trying something like that because we've been playing it short, and they're just chucking everyone up the pitch, trying to pickpocket us while we're there because we're playing short. In which case, maybe push Souček further up alongside Dan Ings and play it long.
Why don't we keep a player in the halfway line for the oppo corners?
Opposition ones, yeah. We always bring everyone back. We never even up front for a counter-attack.
Your question is as good as mine.
Especially considering we don't really man mark, we sort of zonal mark. It's like...
Brighton keeping a hold of possession in their own half, and they're happy now to just do this. And they'll find the gaps.
That's what I said about you, look, but you're saying we don't want to attack, but you're going to have to now. You have to now because you conceded the goal.
If we can get hold of the ball, mate. Brighton just keeping possession, playing all back, all the way to the defence.
You know, look at
Dunk on the ball. And then they've lost it. West Ham have won it back. Benrahma now in the halfway line tries to skip by one defender, but Brighton instantly win it back.
On the flash, put the pressure on to win it back.
And that's really good, though, from Danny Ings because he's seen him playing that ball back to goalkeeper and then closed that gap. But Brighton have still played their way out of this situation. They're just patient. You know, there you go. Gap. Found the gap.
Yeah.
There you go again. Another one out wide. Players making overlapping run. He doesn't look at him. Cams the football down again through the middle. Casido. Out wide again. Now they've just switched play completely. And then they're going to go back over again. Casido, he's got space through the middle. He switches player to the wide left. He collects the ball. Big cross in the box. Clear from West Ham. But straight to Brighton. We're not winning these balls. We need to win those balls. Ings chasing the ball down. Ball through the middle.
Not getting a single first ball.
Not getting a single first ball. Not winning the 50-50s just now. And Brighton happy
to get the ball back. They press in 4s and 5s to win it back. You know, we press in sort of 2s and 3s. They press in 4 and 5s.
Constantly keeping hold of play. Constant Happy just to keep possession. Dunk driving forward now. He plays the ball forward. Still Brighton have got hold of the ball. They've held on to it now for the last 5, like literally, I don't know, what, 80 passes? It's gone out wide, right? March with the ball, crosses it into the box, clear from West Ham.
But then it's not good
on the edge. That's
West
a
Ham
heavy pass from them.
Casido's kicked it out for a throw-in. But 2 minutes.
See, what we're handling right now, right, and this is where Brighton won't get us, is when they do get the ball wide. So they've spent the last 2 minutes keeping hold of possession, playing the ball out wide. Then they're crossing the balls into the box. They're getting no success with that. Where we could get success is if we win the first ball when that ball gets knocked out from our defence. But we're not. It's going straight back to the Brighton player. Straight to the Brighton player. And that's where they're coming at us again. So that's what we need to switch. What was the game? Was it a game against Everton, Matt? Albeit against Everton, but we started to win our first and second balls. That's what we need to change up. We need to change that up. We need to win these balls again. Because that's then, when they make a cross and we win possession, it's straight back in Brighton's hands again. Straight in their hands again, and they're coming at us.
Yep, we can't, there they go again. Pressure, can't get out. Easy.
The thing is, though,
left to right.
You can't attack if you don't have the ball. Right now, we cannot get the ball off Brighton.
No. Look, and we do try and get it. They've just got the ability to pass it around
and play it back. You don't see anyone sitting there slagging them off for playing the ball back, and they've won a foul from it as well. No rush
to play the ball forward. When they do pass it back. Yeah. You know, they passed it back with the aim of that they're spreading the play, trying to find the space. We pass it back because we don't know what we're doing with it, and we just pass it sideways, hoping something happens.
As crazy as what I'm about to
teammates.
Yeah, as crazy as what I'm about to say sounds, I feel like we can nullify that threat in the second half. It's going to take for the second half to nullify that threat. Because right now we can't seem to deal with that. So it's going to take for them to go into that changing room and actually assess this game and go, you need to get a hold of the ball. What a ball that is from the Brighton team as well.
Could be a goal kick.
I mean, I don't know how he's won a corner from that. He's won a corner from that.
He hasn't. I don't think he has.
Oh, has he not?
I think the ref's given the goal kick. Because Johnson, I'm sure Johnson kicks it against him.
A big like 60, 70 yard pass from Brighton. He collects the ball, nearly skips by. It was a corner, by the way. Should have been a corner.
He did kick it against the Matoma. I was right, but the Matoma was off the field. Yeah. So it should have been a Brighton corner.
Again, look,
our goal kick, and they've already got the ball back.
We won the header. Who was there? First, Brighton. Now Brighton have got the ball back again in the defence. So this is my issue, right, with this game so far. 36 minutes gone. We're not winning the first ball.
I would maybe take Souček off. Put Scamacca on.
Yeah, I think it could be a Scamacca-ish game.
Because at least, with Scamacca, you might start winning the first balls. Dunnings can play off him because Souček's not winning anything.
Playing the ball through the middle, Souček chases his man, but they've broke the... How has he got round our two players there? And he's still driving forward for the Brighton.
And now they're going to switch.
And he switches play. And Ben Johnson.
But we can't control
Who's there? Who's there? Brighton.
We're not trying. I said we're one of the only teams in the league that does this. Where, apart from Maguire, right? Where we don't try and find the man when we clear a ball. We just clear it for the sake of clearing it.
He's gone 1-on-1 with Agard. Emerson's there, but how's Ferguson kept a hold of that? On the edge of the box, out to Marsh on the right-hand side for Brighton. Cuts inside. On the edge of the box. Back out with Marsh again. Onto his left foot. Crosses the ball into the box. Ben Johnson. Oh, my word. I'm so glad he was there, because if he wasn't there, that would have been in the back of the net.
How deep are we playing and we're still not pressing? No. We're in our own box right now, and we're still backing off, letting them have the ball. I'm not saying we can win it, but we should be pressing. But we're not. Johnson's almost cleared that underneath his own crossbar from across from the edge of the box, because we're so set right now on this low block that we've let them pass it around the edge of our own box without going, not making a tackle, but going to engage, just close the space down, make it more difficult to get pass off.
Corner to Brighton. Pings the ball in. West Ham deal with it again.
It's come off Souček for another corner.
Another Brighton corner. I can see something changing in the second half, definitely, because you can't keep playing like this. Cross end, dealt with West Ham, Ben Rama, but we're not first to the ball again. Oh my God, is he onside? Flag stays down. But West Ham win the ball back with Paqueta. He's fouled.
Don't even think about taking out a quick West Ham. I'll take it quick.
Emerson skips by one player. Right, win it back.
Right. So I said, why are you taking?
Play it safe.
We've been literally the ball's been going one way for the last 12 minutes. We've barely had a touch of the ball, so we finally get an opportunity to calm down, give everyone a breather, maybe try and play it well.
West Ham won it back though. Oh, it's unlucky from Danny Ings. He's tried to find Jared Bowen, but the defenders intercepted. Got it. Brighton are on the attack again.
Yeah. There's a difference in that one is that Danny Ings just picked a pocket of a pass from the defender, and he's tried to chip it over the defender straight away to Reece Bowen. Because if he gets that right, Bowen's clear away.
Wait. Let me count this out. Right, the centre half's got the ball now. They've played about 15 balls, but I'm going to count it from now. How many times they pass? 1. Before even West Ham get near it. 2. Casino back again to the defender. 3, 4, out wide. 5 for Marsh. 6 goes a big cross in. West Ham deal with it. Let's see who's first to it.
Well, that's a handball.
Suchek, and it's straight to Brighton again.
7.
1, 2 passes out wide to Marsh. He keeps a hold of it. He's going to play it back. He is. 3. Then it goes all the way back to defence. 4. It's going to go wide left. 5. They're on the edge of the centre circle. Calm down. Then he goes out wide again. 6. Cuts inside. 7. Goes back to the defender. It's going to be, no Casido. 8. It's going to play easy. 9. We cannot get a hold of this ball. 10.
11. 12.
12.
13.
13. Now you've seen a run for the player. Ben Johnson intercepts. Who's first to it? Casido, Brighton. Brighton goes out wide. 1 pass. Good pass. He keeps it in. Under pressure, but he does keep it in.
75% possession now. They've upped it even
2.
further.
Skip by the player. Tries to cross it in low. West Ham are there to deal with it. Clears it. Who's first there? Let's see.
Danny Ings actually gets
Danny Ings done well, and we've lost it. And it's a throw in.
Yeah.
That's the sign of our game so far. We need to get in it first. We need to get the half-time whistle blown. Get in and deal with this, because it's good football from Brighton.
There's just where's the desire? That's what I'm questioning right now. You know, we've had 2 really good performances.
Watch
you
this.
know,
It's going to be a big clearance now. Watch Ogbonna. Danny Ings wings it straight to Brighton. Come on, West Ham.
But West Ham did push up there, bit of pressure from Thomas Suchek, and then we have
Johnson's done well. And Brighton have won it back. It was a 50-50 challenge, but Brighton have come out on top. Yeah, they've got bodies forward. Oh, we've done well to intercept that, but we're not going to win it again. Oh, come on! Win this ball
against Everton. And Man United, sorry, the Forest and Man United. Before those 2, you had the Tottenham game where it was just appalling. And it's like we've had 2 good performances, got a win, and then we probably should have got something. We should have probably got a win at Man United, but we didn't take our chances.
Right, we've won the ball back with Ben Rama. Plays the ball early to Danny Ings. Yeah, but the thing is, though, with the Everton first half,
what did he do there? If Ings wins that ball,
the Everton first half. The Everton first half wasn't the most. A fantastic first half as well. We were not winning the second balls. That's what happened. It was the Newcastle game. It was the Newcastle game I'm talking about. The first half, we couldn't win the second balls. The second half, we did. We started winning those second balls, and we put the pressure on, and we were unlucky in the end in that game. But look, Brighton are on the attack down the left-hand side again. Look, space through the middle, edge of the box. West Ham win it back. Paqueta, do something. Out wide, Ben Rama. Cuts inside. Danny Ings. Emerson's made the run. Much better West Ham. Emerson keeps driving forward down the left-hand side. Benny's there supporting him. Emerson's driving in. He tries to go for a low cross, and it goes out for a West Ham corner. That was better.
There, right? Go back to that. If you could freeze frame and reverse it, when we counted, it was 3-on-3, right? At the end of it there, when Emerson puts that cross in, they've got 6 players back. We haven't got anyone else forward.
Do you know what they would have done at that point? Do you know what they would have done, though? Stood on the ball and waited till players came in and then played it. But to be fair, we've won a corner from it, so
it's just not good, is it?
corner to West Ham.
It's
Right
in.
onto the. Oh, it's gone right over. Is it we won a corner from that one? Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
44 minutes gone. I mean,
yeah,
what
job,
if we could
really.
snatch a goal now, Matt? If we could snatch a goal now.
It's not how West Ham play, is it? It's not how our luck's been this season.
Corner West Ham.
Going to whip it in, so this will be going to the near post.
Big ball in. They've won it with the header on the edge of the box.
Then, like,
Oh, we should be doing better with that. Now they're on the counter. How's he won that?
Needs to stand up. There's Johnson there. Again, though, like I said,
all through. It's good
right?
ball.
Let's put that out for a Brighton throw-in. Like I said, it's our attacking throw-in. Brighton have got a man standing on the edge of the box for the clearance. Was it Ben Johnson or Emerson? I think Johnson standing behind him, 25 yards out. Why is he not shoulder to shoulder, touch tight with Mitoma?
3 minutes of injury time.
What? We never have anyone on the edge of the box for a rebound. Instead, we're going to let them have the man on the edge of the box, and then we're going to stand 5 yards off him to mark him, and Casey tries to counter attack, and then we don't even stop the counter attack. Like, I don't know what needs to be done, but Moyes needs to. I don't know,
Right, here we go quickly. 300 completed passes for Brighton to West Ham's 69. 300
That
passes for Brighton
mad,
to West
isn't it?
Ham's 69. But that's a prime example of what we've been talking about. Brighton on the ball through the middle now, playing a one touch, 2 out wide on the edge of the box, plays it back into the middle. He's still got time. West Ham have got bodies back. Casino out there now in the middle, switches play over to the left, cuts in. Oh, ball round him. He's going to cross it in. Oh, he's kept onto it. You know what? Right, he could have easily crossed that ball in, but he's kept onto it and played it back, and he's won a throw in from it. Three hundred passes.
69 passes in 45 minutes of football. That's embarrassing. That
We can't get a hold of the ball.
We're not trying. I wouldn't mind, right? Is if we was putting the effort in. We're not winning any of the second balls, right? But I wouldn't mind if they were trying to at least win the second ball. But
Do you know what would be interesting? Do you know what would be an interesting stat? How many interceptions West Ham have had, but how many of them have been successful interventions? They're successful at giving the ball straight back to bloody Brighton.
Yeah, in interception, we've actually kept the ball after 3 passes. How many interceptions within 4 touches have gone back to Brighton? The commentator said it about
overlapping run
nearly 10 minutes ago. He said that it's already like a training game already, and Brighton are just playing out for the end of the game.
Yeah,
And we're not even at half time yet.
We definitely need this first half whistle to go.
We need it to go now.
Something will change in the second half. You can't come out and play the exact same way at all because you can't even get a hold of the ball. So you need a player to come on and get a hold of the ball, i.e. Skamaka. There's a big ball up over the top. What happens? No one can get anywhere near it, and the keeper comes out and clears it. But you need someone to win that first touch and someone to be able to bounce off him with the second touch. It's not a Souček game, unfortunately, I don't think, today so far in the first half.
No.
I think this is the first spell, though. I was going to say, I can't believe I'm just about to say that. We had 3 passes, and I was like, "That's the first spell we've had of possession."
Look, a little bit of pressure there from Danny Ings, and we actually get the ball back.
Like, come on,
there's a two completed passes there.
Ogbonna.
3 completed passes.
Just as we do 3 completed passes, the referee blows for half time. If you're watching, Brighton are winning 1-0 thanks to McAllister penalty.
You know what? I want to say it's a shambles, but it's not. It's not a shambles in a sense that we've been absolutely battered. It's not. It's just been, there's no desire, no effort, no energy, no nothing.
Mate, can I be really honest with you, though? I don't even really necessarily think that. I think it's been a very good football match from Brighton. That's a very good footballing lesson.
We're not actually...
But we can't get...
We're not keeping the ball. We're not keeping the ball.
But the proof is in the proof is... No. It's not about keeping the ball. We can't get the ball.
It's just...
There you go. I'm going to hand over to Russ. We're going to argue about this, Russ. I'll be back.
We can't.
Much love.
All right.
All right.
Go on, back off. We can't get the ball. Can't get the ball off them. That's true. There's a reason. It's not, when there's such a disparity of passing for one side to the other, they just pass. They literally, they know what we're trying to do. We're trying to get any opportunity we get because we've tried, and midway for the first half, you had the shot from Bowen where he should have squared it to Ings.
Should have buried it.
Should have squared it to Ings, shouldn't he? Really, Ings was free, and then Souček straight after. That their game plan is. Sorry, I'm eating an American hardcore at the time. Sorry. They're just hanging on the ball. We can't get off them. And you're right. We're winning the first. Look. Michael's got stats. 93% pass accuracy.
68.
93%.
You might as well got a millionaire in the house. Drinking some prime.
I bought this in America, mate. For $1.
Did you get it from the stadium? Yeah.
No. Yeah, I bought loads. I quite like this one. But you're right, and I think, to be honest, looking at the, being glass half full, we've done well to get this game 1-0 at half time.
The glass half full is literally that is the only thing. Is it's only 1-0. But like I said that's the most damning indictment of you to say from the commentators at half. It might have been the 37th, 38th minute. It was like the game. This is already like a training game.
Yeah.
And Brighton are already playing out for a 1-0 win. It's like the 88th, 89th minute when you're trying to game manage and just play out to get the win. Except we're not even at half time yet. I mean, look, they're showing that chance from Solly March again.
Yeah.
The clips we over that the Sam Solly March, is it just doesn't even do anything. It just bewilders the people, Paqueta, Anno Bonner, and Emerson to just walk sideways, crab walks through 4 players to get a shot off.
Yeah.
English had more touches in there than we had in 10 minutes.
Exactly. I know what you mean it. I know they're not Barcelona, but they are a very, let's be honest, Brighton, they are a good side, particularly at home as well. They are a good side. They've been Liverpool at home.
And I'm sorry,
that penalty was ridiculous.
Stonewall penalty.
Yeah, Stonewall. I mean, Johnson. To be honest, Bowen.
Johnson gets caught underneath the flight of the ball.
He got caught. Yeah.
Bowen has to let him go.
Yeah.
Bowen has to let him go. Once you cut across someone, you can't touch him.
And then obviously Areola's not going to save penalties. He's shit at saving penalties. Don't forget he didn't save 10 of Blackburn penalties. Do you remember? So that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I was going to say, but in this instance, he actually dives the right way. But
he dives the right way, but it's good penalty. Good penalty.
Keepers never save it top corner.
No, exactly. And as Rob says, we can only get better. There's not. It's just wait.
Don't jinx us, Rob.
Let's hang on that. Let's hang on that.
Minutes yet. He's got his chance. I'll see what you. Let's have it, Russ.
Yeah. So what? So Bowen takes the ball. Look at Ings. Look at Ings. Look at Ings. Look at Ings. Ings is all on his own.
There is 2 defenders there, but the shot still stood up. So if he puts it either side of him, he scores.
Yeah.
The only thing he can't do there is hit it straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
This is one thing he does.
Ings is there, free. You know what I mean? So if he got the ball, if he'd done it quicker, Ings would be in on his own. And that's the trouble. That's been the trouble. I mean, look, again, it's having to play up. That's again having to set the ball up.
Trying to pull that across for Danny Ings.
Yeah, that wasn't a shot.
Still gets the leg out on it.
We haven't tested them. I think, and I think where we have, the few times we have tried to get through them.
But look, that's the last of the highlights.
I know, that's it. But
and that was about the 27th minute.
Yeah.
So for 20 minutes, there's just been nothing.
And for me, it's like
passing us to death.
There's enough. I mean, up front, it's like we can. Their centre backs are so like lumps. I think any pace, you're going to beat them. And it's like those 2 times that Bowen shot, we should have done better there. And that's what we need to do. But we're not getting the ball. Brighton are basically trying to nullify the game out. They've gone 1 up. They're going to hold the ball. They've already done 300 odd passes. We've done, I think by the end it was 75 or something like that. After that stat, and it's about, for me, it's Souček off, Skarmaka on, 2 up front. It won't happen, but that's what you need. That's what we need to happen.
But this is David Moyes. So
yeah, but I mean the formation allows Souček. The way Souček is playing as sort of a 10 anyway, I mean, me Irish Toy was saying before we started that Scarmacca is for the way we're set up at the moment. Scarmacca and Ings is very similar to how Sassuolo with Raspadori and Scarmacca in terms of Raspadori played as a striker really, and Scarmacca played as a 10, and they flipped. And actually, that's to me makes more logical sense than whatever he's going to do. I mean, you look on the bench; he's not sort of. I mean, obviously, there's no Antonio, so Scarmacca is, he should be coming on, but Lanzini, is he going to really offer us anything different? Not really, I don't think. When you haven't got the ball,
Lanzini and Fornals would be ones that would probably get you on the ball. They get you on the ball, they get possession down, you start passing again. But who do you sacrifice to get the two of them on?
Yeah. Luke said should have started Antonio. Yeah, should. He wasn't even in the squad. They haven't been, exactly. They haven't been in the squad yet. I can't wait to hear Moyes lovers explain how he should still keep his job. To be honest, I think he's done it. I mean, you can see on the touchline clearly whatever he's been saying, they haven't been taking any notice today because he's looks so angry today, and it's like he's one of those managers who you can easily read him. In terms of, and you can see him dragging Declan Rice over and stuff like that. So, should take the ones that ain't doing their jobs at half time. Yeah, indeed, Mandy. Do the players know? What's that?
We can't make 11 subs.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, do what Irish Tommy said and just bring on Scarmacca without a sub and play with 12 men.
Right, come on, lads. Look, they're part of the pitch. Like in training when managers like, I'll start playing for the other team.
Yeah,
I'll put a bib on. I'm only going to pass the ball around. I won't shoot or anything.
Just struggling. Just play next goal's the winner. That's what we do. It's as sharp as blue tap. That is the problem. Yeah, been shocking. Up late with the twins. No, she had the baby yet, has she? No, I don't think so. Baby yet, so yeah. We have relegation goal difference. If Leeds win, we're in the bottom three. They're currently 1-0. Sorry, 0-0 with Chelsea. Wolves are 0-0 with Spurs.
Never do us a favour, do they?
No. Arsenal are losing 1-0.
Never do us a favour if we need it. And Arsenal were losing as well, bringing Bournemouth. I mean, in fairness, if you look at their game quick, I was just looking at it. The stats are Bournemouth had 2 shots in the game. I think Arsenal had like 14 shots.
Yeah. Palace losing again. There you go. That's my one to watch in terms of being dragged in. Moyes isn't allowed to sub 10 players because that's what we needed at the show. 5 will do. If Souček gets to 10, I'm a world-class ballerina, says Luke Legend. Our shape is wrong in midfield. We need a central to holding a position more forward to play the counter-attack. You get the ball first, don't we? That's the trouble, isn't it? I'll be kicking off and making a wholesale change at half-time. I think, to me, there's no doubt that Moyes is going to rip the shit out of them. Rip streaks out of them because it's quite clearly that's what's happening.
See, again, I would take Souček off half-time.
Yeah.
I agree, it's just not a Souček game. And you can either bring on Skamaka and change formation or bring on like a Fornals. Because at least he will up the energy levels.
Yeah.
And that will, when you see one person putting more effort in, then you invariably everyone else then joins in because they're like, all right, and they try and match it. So you could put Fornals in as like a number 10.
Yeah. I think
out and about.
I think with Moy, I think with Fornals, I think you do get that urgency, which it seems. See, and we look back at that Solly March little run, and you see the lack of closing down from Paqueta, and so it's like, well, if he's going to maybe be your 8, that's not what we want the 8s to do. We want them to be in front of them, not like showing them their back.
In the place, putting tackling, not standing them up one way to just force them inside.
Yeah. I don't see Lanzini. I don't see Lanzini as the right. I think Lanzini about 3 years ago.
Lanzini won't have the energy, but he would have the passing ability. So
yeah.
Whereas I think Fornals maybe is a little less on the passing ability.
Yeah. Fabs is obviously out today, isn't he?
On the energy.
Yeah. I think Fornals and Scarmacca are the 2 obvious ones, or even Downs for Souček maybe. Just if he wants to keep that midfield, I don't think it's a Souček game today. I think you need a ball player in that midfield, and Downs could be a good shout. Why are we so passive? I don't know. I think it's just literally, if you look at it, if you're watching the game, for me, they just not give. It's just so. I said they've had 300 passes with a 92% pass accuracy. So they're finding their men and they're making it fucking hard for us to get the ball. It is. We can't get the ball off them. That's the trouble. That is the trouble. 300 plus passes in the first half with a 92% pass accuracy tells you exactly what's the issue. They're passing well and they're keeping the ball, maintaining possession. We're not. We've had 69 and I think we've had about 70% possession. So we're losing the second balls. We're losing. Ariola's got to stop fucking doing this thing where he's chipping it to halfway into the midfield for Paqueta or Souček to knock it on. Stop doing it. Stop doing it because it don't work. He's done it about 5 times now.
It did work against Man United, but Brighton
doesn't work. This is not working. No. So after the first 3 or 4 times, stop doing it, and he's doing it.
You just say, look, we have to try something else. Even if you go back to old Fabianski, push Souček out to the wing and pump it long to him. Stop trying
to be clever because it's not working.
The problem is he's trying to chip it into midfield because we can't pass it out.
Yeah,
because when we pass it out, Brighton literally leave about 5 players
exactly
in our not even our third, like our 25, in our quarter of the pitch. They'll leave 5 players up to go press a man mark and get the ball back.
By the way,
they've done it once, and
by the way,
Luke trying to clear it on his corner flag.
Our Brighton fans said Sanchez was dropped because he's crap. Jason Steele is so much better. So there we go.
There you go.
So Howard thinks Downs for Souček and Fornals. He's just so happy he's starting and not Robert Sanchez. I know you're fucking happy with that, Luke. To be honest, mate. So Howard wants Downs for Souček, Fornals for Bowen. This is a game for Fornals. Brighton won't get an easier 45 minutes as Rich, who's there. Hope you're well. We've got some videos here from H. She's been sending them through to me. There we go, lovely. Thanks, H. Bless her.
At least all the fans having a good day out.
Fans having a great day out. Right, there we go. Same song. Same song.
Yes,
having a good time.
Arsenal were losing after 9 seconds.
They certainly are. They certainly are indeed. We need to slow it. We start too slow. We're the only side in the Premier League who haven't scored in the first 15 minutes. I don't think it'd be less buff. Right, Norman. Right, okay. Let's just be honest. Okay, right. So, in the day, I was this size and I was Essex 100-metre champion when I was under 16s. So, 11.2 was my best, my PB. Just saying. I can move it when I want to, but only for 100 yards. But yeah, I can definitely offer something different in the final third. Let's hope we show them what we piss with second half. I mean, traditionally, as I said, we never scored in the first 15 minutes. Very rarely scored. This is the first time this year. My fucking stats up the window now, where we've
who cursed us? Who put that stat up?
I've been saying it forever. The same with the corners, and we still haven't conceded a corner yet. We will do later on.
We haven't been behind half time this calendar year, was it?
No, apart from today. And yeah. So what else? Yeah, we haven't conceded the corner. I haven't scored in the first 3 minutes of the first 15.
Right, in like 10 years.
Yeah, I haven't been right in the Premier League ever. Eames can only get better indeed. Looks like there's no subs. No changes.
There is one.
Is there one? I'm looking
on for Ben Rama.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. And Ockie's putting some gloves on. There we go. Good to know.
The gloves are on. Not if the gloves are off, but the gloves are on.
Gloves are on. You're not 16 anymore, mate. Totally where you are. Oh, exactly. 21. Never been kissed. Saving graces, we can do better after going 1 down. Well, second half is usually better. And we're off. We kicked off. Right. Here we go. Come on, boys. 4 now's on for Ben Rama.
I think that's a reasonably good decision. As long as we counter that at some point in this half by bringing Skamak on.
Yeah.
But let's just.
I did say bringing
Fornals
on would probably up the energy levels.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see him bringing Beran off for it. I personally thought it might be the Souček, but.
There's also a but to that, though, Matt. We need to get a hold of the ball, and straight away in the second half, Brighton have got a hold of the ball and playing the ball again.
Yes,
they're already about 20 passes ahead of us.
Yeah. With a 100% pass accuracy so far, this is off.
Yeah, we can't even. We've played a minute, and Brighton have had the ball the whole time. Brighton. There's literally no commentary. They're standing still.
Look, they're standing still. They're standing still, and we are losing.
Yeah, but now they haven't.
Brighton.
We've won it back. 2, 3.
3 passes.
Right, there you go. So there's an example. We win the ball back, 3 passes, and bang, Brighton have got it again. 2. They're on 2 passes now. Down the left-hand side. Back to 3.
There's no one even closing them down. So I mean,
4,
look, there's no one engaging.
5 out wide.
There's no one
left.
engaging their players.
They cross it in low, blocked from Johnson, but Brighton win it back. But West Ham win it back with Johnson, who fires the ball forward. But it's Brighton have won the ball back again.
That's an awful clearance. Middle of the park. You don't clear it there.
Who's gone down?
Is that Aguerd gone down? Is that Bowen?
Bowen, it looks like.
Bowen's down. Holding his... I can't see.
There's always been a kind of urgency. It's something I don't get sometimes, right? There's an urgency when West Ham get the ball. It's as if we need to get the ball forward quickly and
yeah.
The thing is, right, if West Ham were doing getting the ball and playing it back, doing what Mark Noble would do, sideways, backwards, the fan base would be going fucking ballistic.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Oh, we're passing it back. Was all we're doing.
You've got to respect the player and respect a team who can keep a hold of the ball and hold the possession. And sometimes that's what you need in a team. Right now, we could be doing with a player who could keep a hold of the bloody ball and calm things down. But right now, there seems to be no one saying that on the sheet. Yeah, maybe. But look, they've won the ball again. It's played right. We have won it back now. Hold on. There's a rush and an urgency to go forward, but no one else is doing it. So cut back if you need to. Into the middle. Now look, we tried
3 passes.
3 passes again, and yeah.
It's out for a West Ham throw-in because we're trying to force it.
Nice football
3
from us there, but it goes
out for Brighton throw-in.
It's a throw-in. Brighton a hold of it in the middle. Shields the ball. West Ham do win it back, but then Brighton win it back instantly.
I'm so late.
Matoma. Oh my God, he squeezed the ball through. He's made a run as well. And he's got shoots from distance. And it goes over the bar for McAllister. Do you know what? This reminds me a little bit, and I'm scared to say it, but this reminds me a little bit like you're in a boxing match, right? I don't know if you've ever been in a boxing match. And you start jabbing away in the early rounds, and you start thinking, I'm getting the feel for this match. And you're jabbing, and you're like, this guy's got nothing. Like, this opponent has absolutely nothing on you. And instantly you know when you box, like, if you've got a really solid chance of winning that match. Right now, we are not, like, Brighton must be thinking, happy days. They can't get the ball off us.
Yeah. No.
Right, this is us on our 3rd pass now. 4 passes, Ogbonna. 5 passes back to Ariola. 6 passes out to Aguerd. We look panicky. 7 passes out to Johnson. 8 passes upfield straight to Brighton. And he's got it, look, and they're breaking right on the edge of the box. I don't know how he's driven by us. Blocked by Aguerd. Johnson with the ball.
What was that pass from Johnson?
Cross.
It wasn't even a pass. He just played it straight into the Brighton player.
Brighton play it back to the keeper. I'm really struggling with this. You need to change it. It's a risky ball from the Brighton keeper there, but they've done all right. First touch. Good football. Fucking hell. Why can't we play like this?
They're passing back just...
Oh, he's going to give it away. Come on, West Ham. No, how did we not get it? They're out.
Now they're going to be straight to the back 4.
God,
now they're 4-on-4.
They were under so much bloody pressure. They were out, and they're now in our box. They're in our box. Wide right, March. How's he got that ball? Why is no one marking him? How's he got that ball? gone out for a bloody corner. He just tapped the ball with like 1% power, and it's skipped by 2 West Ham players. One, watch this. Watch. Toe poke. Fuck. Toe poke. 1, 2. The thing is, if Agard's not there, Matobo's behind him. Tap it in the back of the net. It's really bad.
We go pressing and straight away they go down the other end to get a corner. Like our press was just non-existent.
Oh my god!
What the flying fuck is that?
It's awful.
Was that Johnson again?
Absolutely
awful.
What
was that?
It's awful.
We've an unchallenged header at the near post, and we've headed it across our own 6-yard box for, I don't know what that is at the far post, to literally chest into an empty net from 3 yards. What the flying fuck is that? I'm sorry, what is that? That is relegation, is what that is. Sorry, that is embarrassing. Paqueta's free header at the near post. Like, what is Johnson doing? He's not marking anyone. The guy's on his shoulder and he just left him 3 yards out. Who's he moaning at? Who's Johnson moaning at there? He's the nearest man to that player, and he looks and sees him when it's too late. What?
I don't even know who scored that. Who scored that?
Veltman, I think.
It's fucking hell, man. Like,
it's game over. Game over.
Well, no, it's been crap. It's not game over. We need to react. No, react now. React immediately.
It's game over.
React. No, Matt.
What's this reaction? Look. What's this reaction? He's just stood on the ball in the box for 7 seconds. The keeper and West Ham players are standing still watching him. You can't expect us to come back from this when we've played that poorly.
Oh, Matoma.
Johnson's giving the ball away again.
Shoots from distance. Save from Areola. What a fucking save that was from Areola.
It's game over. I'm sorry, it's game over. Yeah, our second half plan lasted 5 minutes until Ben Johnson marked thin air instead of the guy that's standing 4 yards away from him on the edge of the box, inside the 6-yard box. Like, it's so poor, it's untrue. And he had the cheek to throw his hands up, Ben Johnson, as if like someone else should be marking him. We're zonal marking, and he's in your zone 3 yards away from you, and you've left him unmarked inside the 6-yard box.
Corner. Brighton again.
We've offered nothing in the game apart from that one chance Bowen should have scored.
Crosses the ball into the back post. He went dunk
across.
Areola comes out, collects it.
It's literally 3 steps forward, 7 steps back with David Moyes.
Let me see, check Declan Rice. It's the first time I've actually said Declan Rice's bloody name, and he's lost it. Oh my god, Declan Rice!
Danny Ings loses out.
Oh my god!
Matoma feed it through.
Oh my god, he's just sprayed that ball through, no problem at all. No one's closing him down. Close him down on the edge of the box. Look at him on the edge of the box. They're standing still inside our box.
You're telling me you expect to get something from this game?
Because I want a reaction.
There's no reaction. The first goal went in and the heads went. And they just went, oh, fucking hell, we're going to lose to Brighton again. Right? Now, fair play to Brighton, because Brighton have been fucking phenomenal. As we've said, right? Their high press and their passing ability has been second to none. But when we're just offering what we're offering, what do you expect?
Mate, the problem, there's a simple. Oh my god!
I mean, Soucek's probably going to get sent off now. That is he could go. He could get red for that quite easily. Quite easily could go for that.
Got a yellow for it. Right. This is where I'm at. Right. We cannot play football if we do not hold the ball or gain possession. We physically cannot get this ball. What we need to do is make a couple of. I think that is a yellow card, not a red card.
Second.
We need to bring on maybe Downs, maybe Scamacca, because we need to get a hold of this ball. And right now, with 30 odd minutes to go, we can't keep going like this because we're not gaining possession. So we need people with energy, drive, commitment, get that ball, and then someone to win that ball, like you said, with Scamacca up top. But right now, what's happening is nothing. I mean, surely to God, you can't keep playing like this. Surely.
Well, you think
Sorry.
David Moyes.
It's not playing like this. Surely to God, you can't bend over backwards, which is what we're doing currently. Like, we're not. Let's see what we do now. Ogbona's on the ball. Emerson. Fornals. Rice. Back to Oggy.
That's a poor ball.
Just looking at
Poor
panicky.
ball to Ogbonna. Yeah.
Ariola.
Like, how are you supposed to play it from the back when that was a poor ball from Rice? I don't know what
Johnson.
you expect to want to do that.
He
And
loses
Johnson loses out.
It's a throw into West Ham.
We can't even make the pass to, like, if you're going to pass round the back, your passes have got to be crisp. You cannot be playing bobbly passes.
Oh my God, we just threw the ball straight
back to Brighton.
West Ham have won it back though. Rice.
But again, there's nothing. There's nothing.
That's all right.
Bowen manages to pick it away. But he's going to lose out now. He's been tackled.
Oh my God, the midfield didn't. Oh, we've gained it back. Fornals. It's a nice ball. Emerson, go on, son. Emerson out on the left. Brighton have got about 1 million bodies back though. He's on the edge of the box with Fornals. Taps to Declan Rice. It's a shit ball!
Fucking bottled it.
They're on the attack.
Bottled it. And Bournemouth for 2-0 up at Arsenal.
What did you say?
Bournemouth for 2-0 up at Arsenal.
Oh my God, what a great tackle that is from Agard. Fornals. Right, better West Ham. That's a little bit better West Ham. Rice. Souček. Emerson now on the halfway line for West Ham. Patience. Souček. Better. Don't be silly here now. Rice in the middle of the park. Plays it into Paqueta on the centre circle. Back to Agard. First spell in the game. First spell in the game of possession. Johnson. Paqueta on the halfway line.
Too late.
Patience.
Too late.
Rice. Souček. We've only got another 500 bloody passes to catch up with. Paqueta. Nice pass. Oh, that's unlucky.
That's unlucky.
He pings that ball over the top of the defender. Danny Ings just tries to get a touch on it, but it's just too much for him. See, that was better though, Matt. Oh, straight to West Ham. Run it back. Go on, Ings! Hit it! Oh, hit it, Bowen! Oh, Bowen's trying to win a penalty.
That's a dive.
Is he going to get a dive?
It's a dive.
He's going to get a dive, yeah.
It's a dive. Yeah. He's tried to do the same thing that Brighton did in the first half, except Brighton actually had contacts. He ran in the back of them. They didn't. It's a dive. Yeah. No, he's dived. Don't call it a going to ground. It's a dive. And he's rightly booked for it. Rightly booked for it.
That's all they want to do. Like the commentator just said. Oh, Souček's going, by the way. Is that Souček?
He's going in the book now as well. He's lost his head. He's going in the book now as well.
You heard what the commentator said there, saying invite, it's a scary day when Brighton have a free kick in their own box and they want to invite West Ham into the 18-yard box. That's what they do. That's how they play football. And that is a I've lost my head tackle from Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's his head's gone. But I mean, there's two players there against Ben Johnson. What the?
Right, Ben Johnson.
What is that?
Why are there two players against him? Look,
yeah.
No one's there helping him. Oh my God! I do not know how they've got the ball in the back of the net.
Don't know how Emerson's managed to
cannot hold the fucking ball. Paqueta. He's done well.
He's held the ball. Yeah, should be 3-0. I don't know how Emerson's managed to clear that at the back post.
Emerson.
But that was just one ball from a free kick that they played long, by the way, not this short stuff. But you had Solly March and Mitoma both on Johnson and no one come across to help him.
Oh, we've got lucky with that. Oh my God. We're lucky again.
Fornals
wins it out the left-hand side. Emerson's made the overlapping run. Fornals has still got it. Going to play it to Paqueta. Oh, that's unlucky. He's
Speed,
trying stuff.
eye,
Oh, he's
needle.
going to try something. High
Danny
foot there
Ings
from the
tried to
Brighton
get
player.
back
West Ham
in.
called for it, but play on. Bonner.
But again, look, what is that from Ogbonna? He's headed it straight to the Brighton player. Now they're on the counter attack.
We're in the
He had
60th
3
minute.
West Ham
Brighton,
players. He could have headed it towards there.
we're in the
Brighton player.
We're in the 60th minute, and Brighton already doing hey.
Because they're in control of this game. The reason West Ham are getting chances is because they're now sitting off, hitting on the counter attack. They're letting West Ham have the ball.
Right, we've got 30 minutes to go. Mr. Davy Moyes, you literally need to make a substitution. You have no...
Yeah.
I can't see where you can see why we wouldn't want to make a substitution in this game. Matobo.
Matobo just roasting Johnson again.
God.
Again, look, someone's made no lap. No one's gone with him.
Oh, my God.
Into
oh,
the
my
box.
God.
It's 3-0.
Ogbonna's gone down.
I think just took one in. Hit him somewhere, but he got the block on it.
He told him just below his knee. Who's
following him?
Agard.
Where comes over? No one follows him.
Souček doesn't follow his player. Look at Souček. This is the concern.
He's so far off the pace there.
Oh my God. Who was that tackle? Emerson, wasn't it?
Emerson, yeah.
I'm really struggling with the commentary because there's so much going on in terms of Brighton's attack that I can't keep up with what is actually going on.
Palace are now down to 10 men against Aston Villa, being 1-0 down.
Corner to Brighton.
Hoggy's now on the floor, still on the floor, from blocking that ball out for a Brighton corner. He's holding his shin.
So I think it's just below his knee. Let's see what the comments are saying while we're waiting for our good old friend Doug Bonnet to get up.
It's Johnson. I'm sorry, look. That is Ben Johnson's man. Look. Arsenal pull one back. It's now Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Chelsea are beating Leeds.
Well, I'll be back in a second. I just need to charge my iPad.
Well, Bonner doesn't look good. So, and now they're going to have the corner. Brighton without Bonner on defending it. Kurt Zouma looks like apparently Kurt Zouma's coming on for Ogbonna. Sonny March to swing it, an outswinger. Doubles back post, well defended by Emerson.
Come on, go on.
Quite well.
Go on.
Try and get West
Ham
Ham counter.
Deckers. Switch it. He has. Paqueta takes a touch.
He's been slowed down though. There's
Give the ball back to him. See, I was so frustrating, Souček, because Paqueta was calling for it straight away. Plenty of space.
We're now leaving the players up the pitch, so there's now nothing behind us. So when someone gets on the ball, there's no options because there's no one to pass back to. So everyone's up the pitch. 17 times we conceded the first goal. That's yeah.
"65 minutes gone. Brighton 2, West Ham 0. West Ham still could not get a hold of the ball. I think we have had one passage of play, really, or maybe possibly two in the second half, and possibly in the whole game. Maybe 3 in total in the whole game.
It's just poor.
Do you know what it is, mate? It is actually,
I said after 3 games after the World Cup, I was Moyes out, and even after these results, I'm still Moyes out. And this is just
you know what? It's you've got to give credit to Brighton. Like I've not,
but this doesn't look like a team that is playing for the manager. It's just,
but I tell you, mate, I tell you what though, we've not played a team like this season. Not a single team have outperformed West Ham like this to this level. This is a extremely dominant, one-sided game of football.
And they haven't been great. They haven't been great recently. We've let them.
Here we go again. Oh my god!
The thing is, right, is that this could quite easily be 4 or 5 right now. Quite easily.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a flattering scoreline. And this is the Man United game all over again. Like, where is the sub? Where's the sub to change it? You made 1 sub at half time, which has made no difference. It's made no difference.
I can't lie to you, mate. I'm baffled by the subs. I'm baffled that he's not made a sub. I am. That's hard to defend.
We need goals. You're playing Souček almost a second centre forward who's offering absolutely nothing.
That's a good ball from him. Souček keeps hold of it and then loses it instantly. It's never a foul.
Now they're on the counter attack again.
They've just, I mean, they're unlucky that they've not kept that ball in, but they are slicing us open at every single angle. They're finding every single gap that's possibly.
5 minutes after they went to bring Zuma on for an Ogbonna injury, they're now bringing Zuma on. But they're not bringing anyone else on. Like, if you're Lanzini or Scamacca and you see your team's 2-0 down and there's 25 minutes to go, 22 minutes to go plus injury time, and the only sub the manager's looking at making is a like-for-like centre-back swap, what does that tell you about the manager?
But also for the fact that is Downs coming on? I don't think Downs is coming on, is he?
Doesn't want to be. If he takes Souček off for Downs, then the game's actually done.
Well, if he takes the Zuma's on for
Zuma is on.
Well, there's a positive. It's good to see Zuma back. What game was it we were talking about, Matt? Where we offered Matt. Oh, very good March. Oh my god. They're past. Oh my god. 3-0.
What the fuck is Johnson doing?
They just passed what is he doing? Hey, do you know what though? With all due respect, it's well before Johnson. The ball is being played in our box. And they're passing the ball like 4 or 5 times in our box. It doesn't matter about Johnson, mate. It can't even be. I'm sorry, quickly. No, don't. No, wait. We can't. Matt. We can't blame Johnson for that goal. We can blame the whole fucking West Ham team for that goal because Brighton are playing. Look, watch in our 18-yard box. Watch this now. Let's just talk through it. Brighton regained the ball from an Arula crap ball out. 1, 2 touches, 3 touches, 4 touches. Now they're inside our 18-yard box. Watch now. Watch. 1 touch. 2 pass.
I mean, he may get offside, maybe.
Might get offside.
Might get lucky. But the point I'm making is, right, even there, with all the passing, everyone's following their man. Everyone's closing down the space.
No one is! No one is! No one! Emerson, where was Emerson? Where was Agard? Where were you? No one was there. It's the whole defence, mate.
There's Emerson there trying to cut the cross out.
I'm not having
Johnson, once the ball goes, then sees Matoma's up beyond him.
Matt Johnson is not the fall guy. They've given the goal.
No. I said he might have been, but I thought it was close, but I couldn't really tell. I said this is the sort of one where I go, he needs to go. And I've been saying it since after Christmas. He needs to go. But this is players no longer caring. This
has been an extremely. I have not seen a team play West Ham this season in this manner. Nobody, not Man United, not Man City, not Liverpool, not Leicester, and they're on the attack again. We've won a foul.
I mean, at least Arsenal equalised against Bournemouth, so that's something. It's just embarrassing. The problem is, right, I know we're saying about when we've been struggling to get the ball, but as a manager, there's no idea for what we're going to do when we've got the ball. And I don't know what someone said, I don't know if it was X or something a couple of weeks back, said that West Ham spend 90% of their time training how to nullify the opposition and then 10% about what to do. What was the game plan this week then? Because we're not, there's nothing going forward. There's no idea of what to do going forward. And in defence, there's no idea what to do. There's no idea of how to, nullify their defending. Even if you went a flat 4-5-1 and just tried to smother the midfield. He's gone from attack when we can't get hold of the ball. So what was the defensive nullifying training this week? You've got all this attacking talent on the pitch and we don't know what to do because we don't know how to play because there's no attacking idea for going forward. If the other team lets us attack and lets us have the ball, out of a Forest, then yeah, we can just put the pressure on and build and go forward and forward and forward. But any team that puts any sort of pressure on us and presses higher, we have no idea what to do.
Let me give you a little rundown of the stats of the game so far. 71 minutes gone, 70% possession to Brighton, and their pass success rate is 90%. Matt, how many passes have Brighton made?
Now, it's got to be 600 or something. It's got to be.
469 successful passes to West Ham's what?
About on average, so about 300 first half, 150 so far. I'll wait for the second.
West Ham's what,
West
Matt?
Ham, 111?
168.
Oh, wow, we've actually upped our passes quite a bit, but hasn't done anything. There you go, look. What was that, Brighton fans? You get sacked in the morning. And the worst bit is, he'll come out more, as he normally does. He'll somehow say that, that's not what I told the players to play. Benrahma's not done enough for us this game. And we didn't look too bad in the first half. We should have took our chances. Because it's the same spiel every game.
Joey, I'd be as well come and play with you, little man.
It'll be the same spiel we put out every week. And West Ham will say, we don't want to sack him because, he'd be the one that gets out of trouble. Well, he's not getting us out of trouble at the moment. Last week, we played what I think was probably the worst thing we played so far this season in Forest. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Matt.
I'm done.
Matt.
No, I'm done.
Matt. Nottingham Forest, yes, were crap last week against West Ham. The week before, they drew with Man City. And they've hit a little bit of form. What we're showing right now is a massive amount of inconsistency. Huge amount of inconsistency. And what we're showing is we cannot win the fucking ball back.
3-0 down.
That's all.
We need a centre forward up there to actually win the ball because obviously Danny Ings doesn't get any support. So he's going to bring on Flynn Downs.
This is indefensible.
And Lanzini.
I agree with you, mate.
So what's he doing? What's he doing? Is he taking off Souček and Ings?
I don't know if Matt can hear me.
Is he down?
Matt, can you actually hear me genuinely?
Yeah, now I can, yeah.
Right. Could you not hear me before?
It's quiet.
All right, okay.
Just Flynn Downs and Lanzini, I would have accepted as a sub 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
We'll go again. Brighton on the attack. On the edge of the box, shoots, tries to curl it round, goes wide.
My opinion didn't change after we won and after we had a couple of draws, but this is like...
Do you know what? Look, West Ham are making a double substitution, but guess what? So are Brighton. Brighton are bringing on what? Guess what? Brighton are bringing on a centre fucking forward. Yeah, Danny Welbeck.
He's taken Paqueta off for Lanzini. So, and that is that our fifth sub?
Why is
down to Lanzini for Paqueta and Souček? 15 minutes to go, fucking 3-0 down, and you don't bring a centre forward on. I'm done with the man. I'm done with him. That is literally like he's gone damage limitation of like if you don't want to concede any more than 3 goals because his goal difference. He's taken off Solly March and a Stupian. So he's taken off a left back and a winger. And he's brought on a kid left back. And he's brought on Danny Welbeck. He took off one of his front 3 for a centre forward. He's actually just gone more attacking. He's 3-0 up. Like, whatever way they've reshaped their team now, Brighton, he's quite literally taken off a right mid. You know, he's taken off a young James Milner and brought on Danny Welbeck. He's brought on a winger, a utility. He's decent, Sonny Welsh, but he's a utility midfielder, a winger, and you've brought on Danny Welbeck. And we've got Skamaka sitting on the bench thinking, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry, I don't want to hear again in a week that the West Ham, that they want to keep the faith in David Moyes. There's no one out there. It doesn't matter if there's no one out there. It cannot be any worse. Under 18 manager, under 23 manager, give one of them the job. It cannot be any worse than this because this is not just what's on the pitch, but like tactically and it's just clueless. Actually clueless. There you go. Bowen's nicked the ball back. Lanzini into Downs on the edge of the box. Downs, no options, goes backwards, but at least we keep possession. Ged, no options again, goes back to Zuma. Zuma into Rice. Rice into Johnson. Johnson, Rice. Fornals works well there to give an option. Fornals into Lanzini. Lanzini's allowed to drift, looking for a pass. Still no option. Does well to get it into Bowen. Bowen wide to Johnson. Back to Fornals. Yeah. Probably the most consecutive passes we've done in the game, to be honest. And like I said at half time, if you bring Fornals and Lanzini on, you'll retain the ball more, but you probably lose some of that attacking impetus doing it. But also, I doubt Brighton are really going gung-ho at 3-0 up with 12 minutes to go. Right into Lanzini. Lanzini still on the ball. Wide again to Rice. Rice whips it in. It goes to no one and Brighton clear it. Zuma wins the header.
It's so shit.
Goes back to a West Ham player again. Breaks back to Brighton and still hooks it up. Agued wins the header. Downs back to Zuma, but gets intercepted. Brighton go backwards.
This is tough to watch. I'm not going
to. That's probably the biggest spell of possession we've had in the game. In its single piece, but straight away, one ball left to right. Brighton are away. Return up against Johnson, who's been absolutely awful. He's tried, Johnson, but it's just Matoma's had him on toast for the entire game.
It's just routine now. It's going to be a routine 10 minutes. That's it. It's nothing in it.
I don't know what the formations anymore. I think for now, he's playing out on this right hand side. Bowen's playing as a second centre forward. Is Lanzini supposed to be left mid? Like, I don't even understand what this formation is anymore. And they still just pass one pass straight through the middle of the midfield. Ball in behind Emerson. Emerson, that's a penalty. That's a penalty.
He's not. He's going to free kick.
Oh, he's given a free kick for diving. Did he book him though? Or was he just giving the goal kick? Then he gave the goal kick. Oh, even Downs is giving it away. Straight away in the middle of the park. Danny Welbeck 1-on-1 against Zuma. Welbeck shoots. Puts it wide. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic is the word to say it. It's pathetic. Like, they've been stalling now for the last 4 months, 3 months to not get rid of Moyes, hoping that it somehow clicks. It just hasn't clicked. It just hasn't clicked. And Europa League away on Thursday, and who we got next weekend?
Can't even think about it, mate. And fucking struggling. Really bad. So fucking
Right.
bad.
Aston Villa at home. It's just, but again, what you'll probably see is that we'll probably lose this, and then the outcry will be from the owners. Oh, well, you know, he'll have the next game. Actually, same should be 4-0. It should be about 6-0 by now. Let's be fair, and it wouldn't even be flattering.
Is this another double sub from Brighton?
Brighton. Ferguson and Matoma off. I'm sure Johnson's going to be happy to see the back of Matoma.
Been fantastic today. The whole Brighton team have been fantastic, but Matoma, the creativity down that left hand side has been phenomenal. And to be honest, even down the right hand side and through the middle, everywhere, just clever at keeping the ball. Really good at keeping the ball.
I mean, look, he's brought 2 kids on. 19 to 20-year-old come on. Straight away, he skips away from the 2 kids lining up straight away, in behind Johnson. What? Look. It might be an awful shot, but the 2 of them, straight away, the 2 kids, roast Johnson between them. One of them makes a run into the box. He rolls Zuma and gets a shot off. Because they put 2 attacking players on.
I'm going to read some of the comments out while we're playing or not playing football. Robert is saying, why is it not coming on? I think my mouse is.
Oh, what a shot!
Did he save that? He saved
Tucked
that.
it onto the post. Areola. Again, one of the 2 kids has just come off the bench, has a pot shot from 25 yards, bends it top corner. Areola tips it onto the outside of the post and it gets cleared for a Brighton throw-in.
We were down with Southampton and Everton. Scott has said, I can see Rice wanting to leave after a game like this. To be honest, I think this has been one of Rice's worst games. I think it doesn't matter. He's been one of Rice's worst games. His head's gone a bit today, and he's not been at the races at all. Moyes has to go tonight. Moyes out now from FPod.
I've given up accepting that he's going to get sacked.
Mark Thomas has said, don't worry, goal difference isn't the worst down there yet. Surely Moyes will be gone from Hammer 89. Chris is tired. I've had enough. I can't take this rubbish any longer.
Yep. I'm with you, Chris.
Lord Speed says, oh my God.
Should be another one.
Oh my God. I'm sorry for my commentary. It's shit, but it's literally oh my God.
6 and 7's in the box. Could have had another shot. Someone blocked it right in front of the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box. West Ham can't get it clear again, and Brighton are just recycling the ball again. There you go. Look.
Everyone has been woeful today. Difficult to single out one player in particular. Ben Johnson being piss poor today.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the away fans.
Apparently, according to the commentator, most of them are already gone, so don't worry about it.
Only good news: Millwall losing 3-1.
3-2 now, by the way. 3-2 to Norwich. Millwall pull one back.
Scott, I love your optimism, mate. I'm usually there with you, but for me, I have not seen a single ounce of anything positive in this game. This is probably the first game this season that there's been not an ounce of positivity except for Zuma coming on the field. There's been literally nothing. We've not had a chance to. We've done nothing. We can't get a hold of the ball ever. We've never. I think there's been 3 occasions, Matt, maybe 4 or 5 occasions.
Boys will come out and say we didn't take our chances. It'll be the same thing. We didn't take our chances. We made individual mistakes. I didn't set us up to play like this. It wasn't good enough. This wasn't what I wanted. It's the usual Moyes feel come out at the end of the game.
I mean, look at them. Look at them right in the middle of the park. Oh my God! Yeah. If you don't know already, we will be going live after the game to have a chin wag. Give me a thumbs up if are we going to invite people on or not? What do you think? Nah, I don't think we will tonight.
Shocking. It's just and fucking Wolves have scored against Tottenham just to finish off the weekend.
Attempts. We've had no shots at the goal in the second half.
No shot in the second half.
We've had 3 in total. We've had 3 in total, and they've had 17.
They had 13 shots in the second half, Brian. We've had none. 4-3 in the first half. You thought, it's kind of even.
Oh my God!
Oh, here we go. They're in again. In behind Johnson again.
Oh my God! That was a good tackle from Downs. But I mean, it's all right with 3 minutes to go.
When you're 3-0 down, yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, what happens is we'll go on to the review after the game. Once we finish the stream, you should be taken over to the review. And if not, when the stream finishes, the video that pops up should be the review video. So then you can click on that and that'll take you over there as well. So just join us over there for the review. Obviously, it's not going to be fun. And I've felt like I've built up a bit of anger and frustration that I really don't want to talk about. And I really don't hope I've not witnessed what I've just saw in the chat. I really hope it's not true. But I think it is. I think I might be sick.
It's just pathetic. This is just literally pathetic. There's no desire from anyone.
Oh my God, they're playing the ball from their keeper. We cannot get hold of the ball through the middle. Look at that. Look, all the pressure.
Well, there's not, look, just passengers.
Oh my God,
Welbeck 4-0 from outside the box, smashed it at the bottom corner. And again, guess what? No one closed him down. No one fucking engaged him. Because Moyes drills us to do low block. What the fuck are we blocking? Like, what is the point? What is the point? Get him gone. I'm sorry, get him gone. Krasinski already doesn't want to buy the club now because they don't know if we're going to be in the Premier League next year. Sullivan seems to keep thinking we're just going to hold off on sacking Moyes because, was it insanity doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? Like he thinks Moyes is going to get us out of trouble when Moyes doesn't know what he's doing. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Everyone else down the bottom seems to be getting some sort of result at the moment, and we've been spanked. All the hard work we've done last week, saying that we recovered some of the goal difference, we've been spanked for by Brighton. Sack him now. Sack him now. Unfortunately, though, Sullivan won't. And the only benefit will be is that when we get relegated at the end of the season, he won't get 600 million for the club. He'll be lucky to get 300 million. It's the only benefit. What are we doing? What are we doing? You're 4-0 down the 90th minute and you're trying to play out from your own goal. Like, what are you doing? You haven't been able to play out your own goal for the last 90 minutes. Why do you think you're 4-0 down? You can magically start doing it.
There's all your calling. I'm just putting them up. There's 3 minutes injury time. There's 2 minutes to play. We're 4-0 down. I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be 5 soon. I've never seen a dominant display against West Ham. I'm being really honest now. In a long time. And it's absolutely, I'm a half glass full West Ham fan. There's nothing to be positive about. I can defend. There's nothing today I can defend. Not a single thing. There's nothing. There is nothing. It's actually been disgraceful. Sorry. Russ is live because that's the review going on. So you'll jump across there when we do go across and go on there. So you can just join him. He's just closing off the game for you. Scott, thanks. I'm going to take a break from my stuff for a few hours so my blood pressure doesn't go too high. Hopefully a better result Thursday. No, I know, mate. I know it's a struggle. It's tough. This is a tough one to take on the chin, to be honest. And oh my God, they've scored again. It's a tough one to take on the chin because it's awful.
It could be 8. It's 4. It could be 8. Yeah. That's the reality of it. Yeah. It should be 8. Like the chances they've missed.
Cape, to be honest, I don't even know if we set up defense. We had no chance. And Wolves have beaten Spurs 2-0. We had no chance. We had no chance today. We knew
Chelsea beaten Leeds. At least Chelsea got a win. Leeds lost. Blow the whistle, ref. Just put us out of fucking misery.
There you go. We're going to go live over on the review. Thanks for watching. I'm not even bothered about saying thank you. I appreciate you sticking with us, but go across the review. We'll go across and be on there live just now. Like I said, once I close down the stream, you'll get automatically put across there and or click on the video when it pops up at the end for the review. See you in a minute.